Welcome to Botching It Up. This is the podcast where we have just signed to developmental, hoping that we don't botch up so much that the boss pedigrees us live on pay-per-view. Because how embarrassing. You're with me, Benito, and my good friend Basil.
How you doing? What we got over here? Couple haters, no subscribers. How you doing?
And what a stacked show we have today. So first of all, just a little general talk. How's your week been? And then, for the first time ever, we're going to do some emergency news.
Emergency news is a very important week in the world of wrestling.
Then we'll be voyaging the universe, before we drop down into Indietopia. Then checking in with Billy Corgan.
I'm doing this as well this week. I'm
Good.
part of the Billy train.
Let's do it. Then I've got a what in the world of wrestling for you. It's not very good, I'm sorry. Then we'll check in with some MMA stuff at Cage Corner.
You know what's happening next?
What's on next?
On this day, bro.
Then I got some fun news for you. It wasn't going to be very fun, but I've saved it.
You saved that.
Yep. Then what you got?
Heading into the vault.
And then finally, the feature.
It will blow your mind.
It is the best conspiracy of all time.
Yeah, it's worth wearing that tinfoil hat, man.
It's going to be a good show. Let's do it. Botching it up. Okay, so before we get going, because we're like 3 weeks behind in life, last week I asked you how your Christmas was. How was your New Year?
I do remember it. I hung around with my parents.
Same, actually.
Yeah.
God, we sound like we're so much fun.
Hey, it was great.
No, it was a good time.
I watched Jules Holland. I had some champagne. I popped some party poppers.
Any New Year's resolutions?
To be less self-pitying.
Okay.
Which is actually working out quite well for me.
You're doing well so far.
It's positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a part of I won't tell you all of mine, but a part of mine is to sleep better, and I've managed to be able to do that going to sleep, but waking up, you know how I am in the morning. I'm just miserable.
Do I know how you are in the morning? How often do I know how you are in the morning?
Well, even if I just see you first thing, like in the day.
Yeah, sure, but let's just clarify with that we're both heterosexual males here. Anyway.
So you know my kind of inspiration in my adult life is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yes.
So now my alarm tone is The Rock's theme song.
Right.
So I wake up every morning to "Can you smell
what the Rock,
Rock
is?" And then you wake up and then you're like, "Oh fuck, it's such a good day. The birds are bumping."
The Rock says, "Get
You're
the fuck
already
out
a
of bed,
sound
you lazy
sack of
shit."
shit to me. Wait, jinx on the shit.
It gets worse. I've got a picture of The Rock, one eyebrow raised, pointing at me on the back of my bedroom door. So when I leave the room, I got to do it for Rocky. I got to get my tasks done for the day. I can't let him down. He's looking at me. He's judgmental.
So the first thing that I have to say is that that's quite creepy.
But it's not in a creepy way.
No, but it's creepy that you put so much allegiance into The Rock, and it's also creepy that The Rock is always staring at you. And The Rock is not even aware that he's staring at you all the time. But whatever gets you out of bed, bro. One of my idols is also The Rock. Up until 2013. Well, up until today, really.
Until
but
4 years ago.
I'm not even talking about that
Fresh
right now.
wounds.
But my other idol is My Name Is Earl. And I'm happy. Whatever works for you, man. I'm just happy that you're happy.
My Name Is Earl. That's a weird one. You just like good karma.
Yeah, I'm a calm man.
Attention. An emergency has been reported. Attention. An emergency has been reported. Attention. An emergency has been reported.
Quick fire responses, yeah?
Beep-a-deep, 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 beep-a-deep.
You don't have to do the jingle. I already got one.
Alright, well... Could have told me that. So, I have some emergency news.
Alright.
Breaking emergency news.
Breaking news from Anchorman Basil.
Enzo Amore has been working on a rap album since last summer.
What?
Yes, and I believe that it's independent of WWE.
That's crazy.
It is gonna
It's not gonna be good.
It is gonna be lit, my man.
It's gonna be awful.
You know we're planning on doing a road trip.
Yeah.
Guess
no,
what's
that's
gonna...
not the soundtrack of our road trip.
Yes,
No
it
way.
is.
No way.
Yes, it is.
Oh God.
Enzo, I love you. I love you, Enzo.
Please.
Keep being you, bro.
Okay.
That's it, bro.
That's the news. That's the news you had.
That's my emergency news.
Awesome. Great.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I got stuff.
All right.
So TNA. Let's go to TNA. Well, sorry. Impact.
One of them.
So, and I want quick fire responses to everything I say.
Okay, let's do it. Let's smash it.
All right. So LAX
Love them.
and OVE
Cool.
had a barbed wire massacre match.
Awesome.
Third one in TNA history.
Okay.
They used real barbed wire, and apparently got so brutal that it's been declared too violent for TV. So what TNA are doing, Impact are doing, are airing it exclusively on their Twitch channel.
That's
so,
actually really cool.
yeah. So they've accidentally created press for themselves.
I want to watch it more because it's too bad for TV.
So do I. They'll be airing it straight after Impact on
Awesome.
tonight.
Tonight, I'll do it.
All right.
Watch it.
Austin Aries
Yep.
is now Impact champion,
Great.
and Impact's social media spoiled it the night it happened. I want
Well, that's a bit
both.
stupid.
I want your opinions on both.
Well, why did they spoil it?
They spoilt it, I think, to stop other people from spoiling it.
To get people to watch as well. To
Yes.
get people
Well,
excited.
yeah, but
Because Austin Aries is...
Yeah, but the thing is that they tape 5-6 weeks in advance. I'm not sure whether you knew that.
Ah, so Austin Aries isn't going to become champ for like 2 more months?
No, I'm going to discuss this on my quick Impact roundup, but
Yeah.
it's pointless to watch TNA right now.
Okay, well...
But Austin Aries, hey,
I mean, that's a good step for them, though.
it's a good step for Impact. I'm not sure whether it's a good step for Austin Aries.
No, I think he's in a transitional phase at the moment.
Anyway, Laurel Van Ness, the current Impact Women's Champion on TV,
Alright.
has been released by her own volition.
Okay. She asked for her release.
Yes.
Okay, so they need to find a new champion. I don't really like her anyway, I don't think.
I think she's the drunk.
Yeah.
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 Bobby Lashley, by his own volition, has been released.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see him fitting him into the Mania slot pretty quickly.
You don't think he'll go to NXT first? Like
No,
Drew McIntyre?
No, I think he's a bigger deal than that.
Yeah, true.
I mean, he did defend our current president of the United States of America. He defended.
Yes,
he defended.
Vince.
He didn't just defend the president. He defended the president's hair, which is
did.
the president's main selling point.
It is. So, yeah, Bobby's got a place on the roster, I guess.
Dude, that's definitely something to put on your CV. EC3
Yeah.
has been released of his own volition, and he's just been pulled from an independent date on the day of the Royal Rumble.
Sweet. He's going to be at the Rumble.
Yes.
That's going to be awesome if they do that.
I think that I think he'll go to NXT.
For sure, yeah. He'll go to NXT first.
But
he still might be at the Rumble and then go to NXT next week.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But interestingly, he owns the rights to his own name.
So he might come back as EC3.
See,
Which would be great.
Also, what I'm thinking, I don't know whether he's got a date for NXT TakeOver,
Okay.
but I thought potentially, people making a big deal out of this, potentially he might have been free on the day of TakeOver, and they've booked him off Rumble so he can appear in the crowd just as a NXT development. You know what I mean?
Either way, that's exciting.
Yeah, good. He's been the best thing on Impact for a very long time.
That's the good news so far.
And he's run out of stuff to do. So, and a little more TNA news. New pay-per-view has been announced.
Okay.
Lockdown? No.
Oh.
It's the same time as
Next.
Lockdown.
Oh.
It's April 22nd. It's called Redemption.
Okay.
And it's just like a straight pay-per-view. But it's their third major pay-per-view after a very long time of only having 2 a year. So they're looking to step up their game this year.
But why are they not bringing back Lockdown or Destination X?
I don't know. I don't understand that. Maybe because they don't want gimmicks anymore, because they think that Impact is known for gimmicks. I don't know.
Alright, well, I don't care.
And from that, both on the pay-per-view and both have worked the tapings, which will be shown in 5 to 6 weeks' time, is Tommy Dreamer and Scott Steiner.
Alright. I used to care about them.
Yeah, I was expecting more of a reaction from that because you used to love the Big Poppers.
Not as much as you think I do.
Well, I do.
I like Tommy Dreamer.
I'm pumped. I don't care about Tommy Dreamer.
know.
I'm pumped for Steiner.
You never cared. Are they having a match together?
I think so. They're in I think. Don't quote me on it, but I think they're in a tag match with Eli Drake and someone else, and it's like a Feast or Fired something,
Okay.
which I don't get because they've just done the Feast or Fired, unless Eli Drake won a tag team championship shot.
Maybe.
That might be the thing.
Maybe.
So obviously, you get Steiner and Tommy Dreamer in.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you think of.
Going on to WWE news, quickly, Goldberg has been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Great. Saw this on Raw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Legend.
Awesome.
Deserves it.
Yeah, for sure.
Ricochet, War Machine, and Candice LeRae, which was Johnny Gargano's missus,
Yep.
have been signed to a developmental contract in NXT.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know Candice LeRae.
She was in not Shimmer, the other one. The other
Evolve.
One, I think no, not Evolve. I don't know. She was in the women's
So she's prominent.
promotion. Yeah.
I wish that Michael Elgin had been signed along with War Machine.
He's not actually in War Machine. You've just seen him tag with them in Japan.
Yeah, but Michael Elgin was the best part though.
War Machine are amazing everywhere they go. They're going to be the best thing in NXT in the next 6 months.
I also haven't seen much of Ricochet.
And Ricochet is as awesome. But he was going to come to NXT a long time ago. But he had to wait for all of his... He was signed out to pretty much every promotion in the world. So he had to wait for all the contracts to dry up before he could start.
I thought you'd appreciate this news more than me, because you're the indie kid.
I love Ricochet. War Machine are killing it. It's going to be awesome.
Now, this is probably the most important news of the week. And the most serious news of the week. Paige has potentially been permanently retired by WWE.
Yes. This sucks.
Yeah.
She's so young.
She's 25 years old.
That
and
sucks.
she's had a pretty bad year. In terms
Couple of years, isn't it?
Sex tape releases, that
Domestic abuse.
domestic abuse thing with Del Rio.
Yeah.
It's not been a great couple of years
No,
for her.
but she's going to stay on, right? To WWE in a
Yeah,
non-wrestling role.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was originally announced as a sort of Edge deal where
Okay.
she literally couldn't ever wrestle again.
Okay.
But it's come to light recently that it's more of a Daniel Bryan situation in which most other companies would allow her to wrestle, but WWE are the people that want her to retire.
So it's concussions.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, apparently she's not taking it well.
I can imagine.
Well, she wouldn't, no.
Yeah.
I think she'll stay on with the company for a while, cause, and sort of manage Absolution or something.
Probably for a year at least, and then.
It must be incredibly depressing for her.
But then, Ring of Honor have got the whole women's promotion coming up, so maybe after a year of WWE, she might move back to the
I
Indies.
reckon she will be back on the independents, because Daniel Bryan is one thing, but Daniel Bryan has had a good career.
Yeah.
Paige is 25 years old.
She's had up and downs and not really got.
She's had a shit
too
time of
far.
it, and she will probably go to the independents. But she's got a guaranteed contract until that movie comes out.
Yep.
Um,
For sure.
So,
And then after that movie for a little while as well.
yeah. One more, not emergency, but a little bit worried. I don't know whether you remember him. Typhoon is apparently seriously ill, and his wife is asking his fans to pray for him.
Oh God.
I don't know whether you remember him. He was
The
part
big
of
guy
the natural disasters with Earthquake,
with Earthquake.
in
Yes.
in the 80s.
And then he came back
Yeah.
later on as something else.
So I'm not a religious man, but thoughts go out to Typhoon tonight as well.
Yeah. Me as well.
Most important news story of the week, apart from the serious stuff.
Well, it's either got to be War Machine or EC3.
Yeah, okay. Well, EC3 is pretty exciting, but it's all about that Enzo Amore, bro.
No.
Road Trip Soundtrack 2018.
God no.
Let's do it.
Houston, we're voyaging the universe. Last week's NXT. What are your good bits?
Okay,
What
so
did you enjoy?
I actually liked a lot of this show.
This was a great show, I thought.
I really liked Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, she was cool.
The match was just like a little heat building hill squash.
Yeah, so she was up against Dakota Kai, who I've not seen. I guess she is a performance center talent, but I've not seen her before.
I assume she's just lower card NXT.
Yeah, she looked Blazer looked badass, and then the match ended with her like bending her elbow backwards and then stomping it. Like it looked like she broke her arm, and then the referee stopped it, and then all the security ran out, and she looked good.
I really like this mean MMA gimmick.
And I like that there's no Ember Moon came out afterwards to try and like stop her from beating up this poor woman anymore. So I guess there's a little storyline brewing there, but I like that it's more just like you said, heat on Blazer at the moment. There's no real storyline driving it.
Well, she looks very dominant, and what I was gonna say is I really like this mean MMA gimmick because I think it's the same sort of character as Sonya Deville, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But Shayna Baszler actually seems to be doing it well, and they actually seem to be taking time with it. And she looks like she can give anyone a run for their money, and she genuinely looks like a bad person, which is quite rare these days.
She's cool.
'Cause we were talking earlier about tweeners and how everybody's not really fitting into that.
Yeah. No one's a real
face heel
heel
thing.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
So,
And interesting, you brought up the other one because those two are both part of the MMA Horsewomen with Ronda. They're two of the 4 women.
I see. Yeah.
So and there's a third one, and obviously Ronda's probably going to come in at the Rumble.
Well, Shayna Baszler looks the most badass. Are you saying they're going to team up?
One day. I don't know if it'll be before Mania, but definitely at some point.
So
you can
Vince-
have an MMA.
Vince's been watching Impact.
Yeah.
He's copying American Top Team.
This has been in the plan for a long time, definitely with Ronda, to have the MMA Horsewomen versus the Wrestling Horsewomen.
Ronda has signed on with WWE, by the way.
Yeah, but everyone knew it was going to happen.
But
So-
Shayna Baszler definitely looks the best to me. Anyway.
Okay, so what else did you like?
I liked Cassius Ohno versus Raul Mendoza. It was a really small match. Like, again, it was short. But like the best short matches, Mendoza came out of it, despite losing quickly, looking pretty good because of the urgency he felt. There was a lot of urgency to this, and I really like when matches like that happened. I don't know whether you remember it, but AJ Styles had like a 3-minute match with Ty Dillinger,
Okay.
and it was like the best 3-minute match I've ever seen.
Okay.
Because
Because they just both put 100% in.
yeah, and this was the similar sort of thing, and I'm glad they're building Cassius Ohno up.
Well, I've written a note here that Ono did win, and they're building him up, but he needs a lot more momentum, I feel. Like, I don't know, I just feel like he's a bit trodden on.
I don't know, I didn't really feel that. I mean, the crowd are really behind him.
Well, of course they are, because it's Chris Hero. Everyone loves him.
But this is exactly what you're looking for then, because it was momentum building. It was a short little match, which
Yeah, and this is what I think he needs a lot more
Put
of
the
these.
build
I
on.
think he's been a bit of a rut. He needs to.
he has been. I will give it to you that he has been for the last year sort of the go-to guy to get someone over. But I think they're finally building him up a little bit.
So my first bad point of NXT,
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to agree because I think you like this, but so NXT is on tour again, and they're in a strange arena again.
I liked it.
You liked? I thought you would. Yeah. So the ring was at a strange angle. So it was like one of the ring posts faces the stage. It's not straight on, and then there's no ramp. It's stairs. I don't mind that. The stairs were pretty cool actually. It's just like the hard cam was pretty much on the stage, looking because it was at such a funny angle.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying because it looks to me like, again, like the ones you don't like, it looks like a gig venue.
Yeah.
So the stage they're coming out of is where the bands play.
Yeah.
And then the rest is like a pit of where.
Yeah.
But no, I like these tiny little buildings because it feels grubby and it feels real. It feels authentic in comparison to the other WWE product you get.
Yeah. Well, I like intimate venues. I like like the ballrooms and stuff like that. I find it strange that NXT really try and squeeze their ring into some of these buildings, and it looks off.
I think you don't, more than the buildings, I think you don't like the sort of slightly awkward camera angles.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Because it doesn't look like a wrestling venue, right?
Yeah.
But no, I like that sort of stuff. I don't actually have anything bad. I wrote nothing.
Nothing bad?
No.
Nothing bad.
My two more good moments
Okay.
was not Lars. I'm not sold on Lars Sullivan,
Neither am I, to be
but
honest.
I loved that entrance silhouette.
Yes,
that was so cool.
Yeah, he was in the ring and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
light hit him from behind.
I thought that was great.
That was cool.
He also has an awesome top rope move.
Yeah.
That looked absolutely brutal, completely lethal.
So, was this Leo Rush's debut?
No, Leo.
It wasn't, was it?
Leo Rush has been wrestling on NXT for quite a while, but he's still being jobbed out for making Twitter comments about Emma, which I don't really get. It's been 3-4 months now. He's still being jobbed out for mocking an employee that got fired a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, give the guy a break now.
But
He made a stupid mistake.
You know Leo Rush before he was in NXT, or no?
I know he wrestled a lot in the UK, actually.
He was a big deal in Ring of Honor.
I didn't know he was in
But
Ring of Honor.
he's a really young kid. So he was really quite a big deal in the indie scene.
He's 22, 21.
Yeah. So he's come into NXT with a lot of people kissing his ass. So I think he's got a bit of an ego. And in WWE, he's had to be knocked down a level.
Yeah, well, I think it's time to bring him back now because just even in that squash, I could tell that he's talented.
Yeah, it was a fun match, wasn't it?
My last good point was not the match itself, but the heat building post match between Adam Cole and Aleister Black.
Yes.
I thought that built the takeover match really well.
But you didn't enjoy the match?
It was okay. It was just an average main event match.
I liked it.
I was expecting a lot better considering the talent. Let's put it that way.
There was hype for this match all the way through the show. We had a cold open by Undisputed Era at the beginning of the show, and then a segment with William Regal in the middle of the show. I liked the main event. It was good. Like, it went out of the ring, it went into the crowd, and the Undisputed Era looked like manipulative geniuses again because they tricked the win out of.
I'm not actually sold on.
Roderick
I'm not
Strong
sold
and
on the
Aleister
other
Black.
two.
No,
Really.
yeah, it is all about Adam Cole.
It's
isn't
the
it?
Adam Cole show.
It is,
Um,
but it's meant to be.
the only other point I've really got on here is that I understand the need for them, but there were a lot of backstage segments this week.
Yes.
That Street Profits segment took like 10 minutes.
Did you not enjoy that?
I enjoy it. It's
I
just
like
too
the Street
long.
Profits.
Just too long.
So they're going up against the Authors of Pain in a number 1 contender match next week.
I think Authors of Pain to be winning that.
Probably.
One other little thing: Moro is worth his money in gold.
He is.
The way he opened up and he said, "Welcome to the whatever center," with the ghosts of WCW Saturday Night in attendance. I love that. I love little stuff like that. You know, relating back to obscure history or whatever. So obviously they used to tape in that building. I just like that sort of stuff. It's nerdy, cool stuff.
Because he's a massive wrestling fan on top of being a good announcer.
Yes,
I'm not
I
sure.
like him a lot.
I'm not sure Michael Cole was a massive wrestling fan before he became the voice of wrestling.
No.
Not in the same way Morello was.
Hey, no,
because-
he was a broadcast journalist.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. So, no, Morello's I think a step forward in the right
I
direction.
enjoyed that show.
It was good. Did you enjoy Raw as much?
No, I didn't like Raw this week.
Raw, as always, was okay to a point and then became difficult. I feel myself saying that most weeks.
Yeah, but I thought it was a lot weaker than most weeks. There was a lot less to enjoy.
There was also less matches, I felt, no?
Well, that's because it took 45 minutes of Braun throwing his weight around like a stupid child.
So we'll start on Braun.
We got to talk about the moment of the week, which is obviously Braun tipping over a production truck.
I love Braun tipping shit over.
Yeah, but I mean, so you were in heaven here because Braun tipped shit over every 5 minutes. He tipped like 600 pieces of shit over.
Do you know my favourite part was
when he went into production?
No. When the guy was holding the chocolate cake.
Oh,
and you
right.
thought you just knew something was gonna happen, but instead he just took a slice of cake and ate it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My favorite
Shows
part.
character.
My favorite part was when he went into the production truck, and he made everybody get out, and he just shouts in his Texan growl, "How do I work this? How do I turn it off?" And then he realizes he doesn't know anything about this stuff, and just walks out again.
Yeah, he doesn't really do anything in there.
No,
That never really happened.
He just. I think it was designed to make you show that there's people inside.
Yeah.
But it made him look like a complete idiot.
I thought they could have at least had like one fake controller that he could have smashed or something.
Did you notice here that a woman started laughing in the production truck?
No, she was crying, wasn't she?
No, she was laughing.
She was laughing
because she thought she was off air.
Ha.
Because the guy said, "Oh, is everybody okay?" And she started laughing, and then he threw his arm against her and stared at her, saying, "We're still going here." You know.
This is wrestling, bitch.
One other thing I got to say about this production thing, though, they did not need the added sound effects on the tipping the truck. Did you hear that? Like the squeaking of the production truck.
No.
I mean, Braun tipping over a production truck is good enough.
Yeah.
Don't add your stupid Photoshop sound effects, man. Anyway.
So a lot of the show was lost to Braun running around the arena, tipping shit up.
Well,
And it concluded about an hour and 20 minutes in.
yeah.
Where he comes out onto stage, and at this point, Kurt Angle has called the police. All sorts of shenanigans have happened. So Kurt Angle's got a microphone, and he chases Braun back onto the stage in the arena. And he's like, "I've just got a phone call from Stephanie McMahon. You're not fired. It's fine. And you're having your championship match." At which point, Braun doesn't stop. He's grabbed Michael Cole. He's dragged Michael Cole across the stage. And then continues to throw Michael Cole off the stage.
I thought this was ridiculous.
And then we lost Michael Cole. And Tom Phillips has never sat in a chair quicker in his life.
Yeah, he's rubbing his hands.
He was in there. He was like, "It's
Yeah.
my turn."
Oh, come on, no. Some of this was so lame. Oh, yeah, no. We fired Braun because he hurt our people. Then he goes and destroys
Hurts more people.
20 million stuff. And, we got to stop him, so we're going to just rehire him.
He literally threw a TV. He literally threw a chair through a TV. I mean, it was quite fun to watch.
Yeah, and Kurt Angle's acting in this was wonderful.
Yeah, you think?
It was the worst deliverance of a line on WWE television I've heard in a long time.
Which was?
It was just like a stunted moment. Somebody says, "Oh, he's at the production trucks," and Kurt Angle like pops his eyeballs out, and in his best voice, like, "Oh God, they're worth
Like
$12 million,"
12
and then he
million.
goes and runs off.
Yeah.
I thought that was brilliant and terrible at the same time.
So that's the.
Oh, and Kurt Angle didn't know how to deal with one man ruining stuff. Where are all the wrestlers, by the way? But Kurt Angle didn't know how to deal with Braun, so what's he going to do? He's going to get a SWAT team out.
Yeah. I'm gonna phone the police and get the SWAT.
Yeah.
Even Michael Cole, was it Michael Cole or someone said, get all the wrestlers together and just like throw them out of the building.
Wonderful wrestler crap.
Yeah, so Braun took up a lot of the show. Your next favourite moment of the show, what have you got?
Despite little to no fanfare, the Revival had a good showing in squash and a strong post-match promo, but
That promo. Okay.
I'm a little worried
Why?
because they have booked them, and it seems a lot like to me that they've booked them to get jobbed out to some legends at the Raw 25.
No. See, what I thought was great, and I'm glad they're running with this, and I hope this becomes their gimmick, is in that promo, there was a line that went, "We are not sports entertainers, we are professional wrestlers."
Yeah.
The crowd did pop at that,
I liked it.
and that's great.
And
Carry on with that as their gimmick.
that line is exactly why I think that they're going to get beat up by a couple of legends.
A couple of sports entertainers next week.
Mhm.
Won't be Hulk Hogan, though.
No, Hogan's sitting at home, brother.
Won't be. I feel like Stone Cold would side with a team like this.
He does what he's told. He just stunned them.
No, but I mean in character, like Stone Cold would be on the side of these two.
Yeah, they probably won't get him. But they might want to embarrass... I mean, the Revival, I forgot they existed until they turned up.
Revival should be beating someone next week.
I don't think Vince is into these guys because they haven't been on TV for quite a long time.
Well,
I know one of them was injured.
They were injured, yeah.
But they haven't been on TV for a long time. And this is I assume, their return, right?
No, they returned about 2-3 weeks ago.
See, there's no build-up or anything.
Yeah.
You just forget they're there and then they go away for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere. I think
Well,
that
they beat Enhancement Talent this week, so usually a team going up against Enhancement Talent is on the way to a push.
I don't know. I think these guys are the next Ascension.
Oh, I hope not.
I so do I, because I really like them. My only other good moment of Raw was the main event. I really enjoyed it.
I wrote here that it went a while.
Yeah, it did. About 18 minutes, I think.
Like, pay-per-view quality match, almost.
Yeah. Having Rollins' blackout return, the curb stomp.
The curb stomp returned. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that hints at a heelish route for his character.
Yeah, but there was like 2 or 3 segments of him and Jason Jordan, and it's like Jason Jordan's the heel and Seth Rollins is the face. Because Seth Rollins is trying to be like, oh, don't do this, don't do this.
Yeah, but he used that curb stomp as a desperation move. So I think he's slowly transitioning into the heel character.
Okay.
I think this is the most interesting either guy has been since the last time they faced each other.
Yeah, well, I think the Balor Club storyline has really put Finn Balor back into importance. It's really helped him.
And I'm surprised by that. I told you a couple of weeks ago I thought this was going to be short term because they had nothing to do with them.
I think they should run with it for a long time.
So do I.
To the point where I think they should also get AJ involved, either against them or with them.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
I also liked the ending of Jackson Asuka because it saves both women.
What? Yeah, but didn't it look like Jax was crying?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It made her look really weak, I thought.
I've read an argument that this is actually a lot of people pissed off with this because men always continue their matches and
when they're injured
and women's matches get stopped.
Okay.
And Nia Jax was crying. People aren't happy with it, but I don't agree with the crying bit. But I thought it saved face for both because you couldn't have a decisive winner here.
No,
you needed to finish it
not
in
on
some
Raw.
way.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I thought Jax looked a bit weak coming out of that.
Yeah, I forgot about the crying stuff.
But Oscar looked good. But then afterwards, there was a segment where Enzo is with Jax,
Yeah.
cheering her up backstage.
They need to get rid of this. I don't like this at all.
It's a strange storyline, isn't it?
It's not even really a storyline. It's just literally they're just hanging around together occasionally.
Yeah.
And 205 is so interesting that they play replays of the Nia Jax romance every single week.
Oh my god. So quickly just going through it, we also had Roman Reigns beating the Miz Taraj.
Yeah, it was a thing that happened.
The Miz didn't really get involved all that much until late in the match, where he kind of threw Axel.
What? Curtis Axel.
That's the one.
He's-
He kind of threw him in the way.
This is one of the many things on the show. Sadly, you know how much I love The Miz, man. But this is one of the many things on the show that
So
was just kind of there.
Sets up a title match next week.
Yeah, whatever.
Before that, Elias once again opened up for Mr. Raj.
Has nothing to do.
Yep.
You know what I'm thinking though?
What are you thinking?
If they got The Rock.
The
if
Rock?
they can manage to get The Rock, because there's talk, The Rock will either be in person or he will be via satellite, but he will be turning up somehow.
That'll be fun.
That's rumour.
I would love to see a Stone Cold Rock promo in 2018.
Well, see, what I think they're going to do is Rock's going to go get his guitar out.
Oh, okay.
And guitar battle Elias.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why not?
Elias has got nothing to do, man. Just give him something, Jesus.
So we also had a 205 match where Cedric Alexander beat Tony Nese.
Yeah, it was just a rematch from 205 last week.
We had a women's match. Sonya Deville beat Sasha Banks in a very quick match. Very quick.
Yeah.
And that's what I've written.
Well,
It
I've
wasn't
just
exciting.
got that the Raw Women's division seems completely lost.
That whole storyline is nothing.
The Raw
There's
Women's
no
division in
interest.
general just seems lost.
Well, Oscar seems okay,
Yeah, but she's the only
but
one.
that's Oscar.
You know.
And then also we had Matt Hardy squash Heath Slater, to which point Bray Wyatt wasn't on the show.
No, at all.
So nothing happened.
Can we talk about the worst moment of the week, please?
What's the worst moment of the week?
It's the second week in a row that the bar has been beaten by Titus Worldwide.
Well, I wasn't going to bring this up because I know it pisses you off.
It pisses me off no end.
So the first match of the night, once again, O'Neal and Cruz beat the bar because Jason Jordan walked out and distracted them.
So you were talking to me last week about how it's fine because it was a fluke victory and it looked like a fluke
And
victory.
next week it was meant to resolve itself.
They looked equal this week.
Yep.
And, I mean, you know, what's the point of building up your pay-per-view number one contenders? No point, right?
No,
let's
make them lose to the
Titus
Jordan team.
and by the way, that's both Titus and Apollo Crews that's gotten a victory over Sheamus. So it's not even just Titus winning. Both tag team members have beat them now.
But the focus was on Jason Jordan.
Yeah, but that he didn't even distract. He just walked up four steps up the ramp and did nothing.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's stupid. I don't understand the booking of that.
I don't understand this at all.
Jason Jordan's meant to be going heel, but
The match sells itself. You don't need to really do anything.
Not really.
It's the bar. People love the bar. People love Seth Rollins. Jason Jordan
they
can
need
do
to
his
stop-
little heel stuff.
they need to stop throwing the bar under the bus.
Yeah,
So you didn't enjoy Raw,
I didn't.
but
not
you
really.
did enjoy SmackDown.
I did. Amazingly. When was the last time I enjoyed SmackDown?
There is hope for SmackDown still. So one of my moments of my best moment was New Day opened the show.
Yeah, I got that one good as well. I thought it was a great promo.
They came out and Xavier did like an election campaign kind of promo.
But it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, but the New Day are ridiculous.
But
That's why people love them.
What I love about this gimmick is that it doesn't even make sense anymore. They had like pancakes on the podium.
Yeah, they always got pancakes
But
now. That's their thing,
it
innit?
doesn't make sense, but their charisma
But it's fun.
have managed to make this gimmick work for years and prevent it from becoming stale.
So my favourite part of that promo was saying that Jinder despises freedom.
Mm.
He comes from India. India isn't really an oppressed state. Okay, so that leads on to the opening match, which is Jinder versus Xavier Woods. This was a great match for a Jinder match.
I've got... This was a perfectly adequate Jinder match, which means that it left a lot to be desired.
And Jinder won.
Yeah, it did succeed in making Jinder look like a credible threat, though.
It did. Xavier Wood looked good.
I didn't have a lot of time for this.
The announcers were building up that Xavier is the weakest part of the New Day, so he was trying to prove himself. which I guess is kind of true.
I didn't hear that. Don't think I was paying attention.
They did say that at one point.
My favourite match of the night was Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley.
So that was the second match in the tournament.
Mojo is so impressive at the moment, in my opinion.
And his entrance, he does like the football entrance, and it's like so intense.
But he's got that intensity throughout the whole match,
and
throughout the whole thing.
But he needed to be pushed like this back when he won the Battle Royale last Mania, like almost a year ago.
Well, better late than never.
Yeah, true.
It was very well done by Mojo.
So
and there was a lot of good back and forth, and Mojo didn't look weak in defeat.
Yep, Mojo looked very strong, and Bobby Roode won to go on to the finals.
This is one of my favourite parts. This is the reason that I like this show so much, I think.
Okay.
I'm a fan of storylines that progress through one show.
Okay.
And I loved that the final suddenly happened.
Yep.
And Bobby went into the final injured.
Yes,
I love that sort of gimmick.
Because the Sings beat him up after the match.
Yeah, like the King of the Ring style gimmick. I like that a lot.
Well, so explain that a bit. The Sings beat Roode up after the match, to which point Jinder came out to talk a bit of shit, and he was on the mic and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna fight next week, and you can think about all week how I'm gonna beat you." And then Roode got on the mic, "Well, let's do this right now." Jinder said, "Nah, on my time." I don't know why he's the one that decides how the tournament runs, but Jinder's like, "Nah, on my time."
Well, he does that every week, doesn't he?
And Daniel Bryan comes out and just does his thing, like, "Yeah, right, why not? Let's do it now." So it happened right then and there.
Jinder still needs a lot of work, man.
Yes.
But it doesn't help that he isn't given a lot of good material. Do you remember when he was facing AJ and he was doing these stupid things every week about AJ looking stupid and looking like a mother and stuff? He would do it every single week.
But what he was saying is the same sort of stuff Jericho was saying. So you can pull it off if you're good enough.
Yeah, but
But Jinder needs that work.
Yeah, so a guy like Jinder needs better material because they should know that he's not great.
Yeah. So before the final of the US Championship tournament, we had a 6-woman tag match. Charlotte, Becky and Naomi versus the Riot Squad.
These poor women get the stupid advert thing every single week.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's worse than when they just cut from and to an ad break.
It is, because you're not paying attention, and it takes away from the match.
But, can I just say, did you watch the adverts?
No.
Dude, in America, they've got this chain called Red Lobster, and it looks amazing. It's just like all sorts of lobster stuff in like sandwiches and stuff, and it's got like
it's just all lobster.
Yeah, and I looked it up during the show, and I went through their menu, and dude, they've got. We need to go to Red Lobster if we ever go to America.
But this really doesn't help the quality of the show, because you're now paying more attention to Red Lobster than who wins over.
Pretty much my entire note is about Red Lobster and how good it looks. And man, you should. Can I show you this advert after the show?
You can show me after the podcast.
It looks tasty. It looks so tasty.
So following that match is my favourite part of the show.
What was that?
The Usos promo.
Oh, the little backstage segment.
Yeah,
that was good.
It was intense. It was great. There was a Little Jimmy reference because he was like, because he was like, "You're Little Jimmy and you're Big J."
Oh, okay. Okay.
A Little Jimmy reference.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I thought that was funny. I got it. And then they were beaten down by their opponents. However, is this match going to take place at Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Because there was a DUI recently.
Oh, I forgot to put that in my emergency news. Yeah, was it Jimmy or Jay? I think it was Jay. I think that's why they were mocking the idea.
Yeah, probably.
I thought Jimmy or one of them, the one that didn't get a DUI, was going to come out and say, "Nah, you're definitely Jay. I ain't paying for that bail."
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No, it was a nice little backstage segment. It wasn't amazing.
Oh, I think I'm just so into the Usos.
You're a fan of all four of the guys, right?
I've gone off for Gable and Benjamin slightly.
Oh, really?
Because of it, because their promos are awful. But the Usos, every time they get on the mic, they're working it. It's great.
I think this match will happen. Did you see WWE's press release about it?
No.
They sounded like they didn't give a fuck.
I don't think they do.
They said they were looking into it, but Jimmy or Jay, sorry to either one that isn't.
Yeah.
Is responsible for his own actions. That's all they said.
Yeah, in America it's not such a big deal, I think, as it is over here in the UK.
It doesn't seem much of a big deal in WWE.
And WWE are so concerned about all of this domestic violence stuff.
Yeah, but how many people in WWE have done a DUI?
All of them.
Pretty much everyone.
Pretty much everyone.
I can see why.
But they're on the road so often.
Exactly.
As well. Anyway, so the
Can we talk about my... No.
Oh, what's your
I want
what's
to
your
talk
point?
about the worst part of the whole evening.
Okay. What is it?
That AJ Styles promo.
Oh.
Where he
Yep.
mocked Kevin Owens' weight.
And he called them
Cammy.
Cammy. That's what they're known as now.
Fucking atrocious, AJ.
Yeah, I got a note on that.
Jesus Christ, that was bad.
Yeah, it was not good.
I think they're like... I think I'm going up against 3 people. And let me describe and explain that. It's because Kevin Owens, I count as 2 people. Ha 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 ha.
Do you reckon maybe they're just trying to put them, like, they're just trying to see what AJ can save? Like, just put all the shit writing on him and see if he can work with it.
I think he came up with it.
Really?
Yeah, I think he came up with it. It was so bad, man. They should have just left him off the show.
Yeah, that's all he did as well.
Yeah, I know.
And he's a champion. It makes sense. And that's the main storyline.
Owens and Sammy weren't on this show, were they?
No. They were in just like a highlight package.
I don't mind that though, because they were focusing on the US
Yeah,
Championship.
okay, and that was good. And then the last match of the night was Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal. The right guy won.
Definitely.
Bobby Roode won the US Championship, and I called this, didn't I? I told you when the tournament started, Roode needs to win it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did.
One massive thing I've got to say, in support of Bobby Roode, is that this is the second match in the night in which the guy losing doesn't look bad losing, and that is a talent from Bobby Roode. That's not a talent from them. Bobby Roode is making these guys look good in defeat.
Yeah, not only is Bobby Roode one of the best workers, but he's also the most over on SmackDown, I think.
He's very
People
over.
love him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, second to AJ. But
yeah, second
AJ
to AJ.
keeps doing that sort of stuff.
But now he's the second champion to AJ, so it works, it fits.
What I'm saying is, if AJ keeps making promos like that, he's not going to become as popular anymore.
I'd like to see Roode turn heel and Roode versus AJ. That's the only last interesting thing.
It'll probably
on SmackDown.
happen.
It should happen. The actual match, you enjoyed?
It was average at best, like objectively, but they played to their strengths and I enjoyed it.
Okay, so you enjoyed SmackDown this week?
I did. I gave it 3 stars. The
And
wrestling wasn't the greatest, but it blew raw out of the water. And I
Now-
loved the tournament concept.
I think having the final worked actually, but I don't know what they're gonna do next week. They're
So
gonna lose something.
I
next
think
week.
Bobby Roode's going to have a celebration. Dolph Ziggler's going to come out. They're going to set up a US title match
At
at
the Rumble.
Rumble.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Makes sense.
I don't really want to see it, but it's going to happen.
So before we get on to maybe the best part of the week,
Excuse me?
we'll do 205 first.
Oh, right. So I got confused there.
Yeah?
So 205.
Yep.
Damn, son. Enzo was absolute
Is that a good down or a bad down?
Bad.
Okay.
Enzo was absolute golden Mike, as usual.
Bias, but yeah. Sure. Okay, what do you do? Why is he so good?
Well, he's just great. He's
Okay,
just
he's
great
just
when he
great.
talks.
All right.
He's the meatball marinara. Hey.
So what's happening?
So they had TJP versus Grand Metalik.
Yeah.
It was better than last week's match, but also shorter. Could have done with more time.
Isn't that the same match they had last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fun way to open the show, but I feel like they've already gone cold on TJP's heel turn. So last week he had a little tantrum and he threw stuff around the ring and threw everything about. This week, he just ran off, and then in a post-match promo backstage, an announcer asks him if he's crying,
Okay.
and he says, "No, I'm not crying." And that's it.
Okay. Wow.
So,
He looks badass there.
and then I thought something weird was going on here.
Okay.
Because it was about 15 minutes into the show, and they're hyping up a Jack Gallagher promo,
Yeah.
which lasted 30 seconds. And it was backstage promo. I'm like, what's going on here?
Okay.
And then, the bad.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, that was all the good, was it?
that was the average.
Oh, that was the
The
average.
good was
Okay.
Enzo. Cedric Alexander speaking, standing, making facial expressions, doing absolutely anything other than wrestling is beyond atrocious.
You don't like him then, no?
The dude cannot even stand and look good.
What's wrong with his standing?
Everything he
See,
does.
okay.
And then all of a sudden, so Cedric
picking
Alexander come out
Yeah.
with Gold Dust.
Yeah.
Because Gold Dust is a staple of the show now.
Gold Dust is a 205er now, apparently.
Yeah, and Enzo comes out, which is where he did his little promo, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He comes out with Ariya Daivari, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak.
Yep.
So the whole Zoe train
The Zoe
apart from
train.
Noam Dar. And they have a 3-on-1 match. The Zoe Train versus Goldust.
And the result?
Goldust wins in 5 minutes.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And this is the most important part. Goldust beating 3 cruiserweights in 5 minutes that have actually been booked pretty well recently is a clear indication that this show has now been declared dead.
What?
Vince could not give a fuck about the guys.
Well, yeah, because Goldust was a jobber to the jobbers in Raw, but apparently he's a main eventer on 205.
Yes.
Yeah.
Despite not making weight. Also, of extreme importance is my feed cut out. Why is that? This show's gone from 59 minutes to 26 minutes. It's a half-hour show now.
For real?
Yeah. Probably because of the mixed match challenge, but that is telling me that the death knell has been sounded. This is it. You have Goldust beating 3 guys in 5 minutes, and then it's a 26-minute show done.
Wow, it's not going to last a year.
It's shorter than main event. I know main event is mostly hype promos, but it's the shortest show on TV that they've got.
Yeah, this show's not going to outlast a year.
It's
That's
a shame.
Crazy.
It's a shame, but
it could have been so much more.
That officially told me that this was dead in the water and done.
And then following that, their newest show, the Mixed Match Challenge.
Oh right, I didn't see this.
You didn't watch it?
No.
So the first match was Finn Balor and Sasha Banks beating Natalya and Shinsuke Nakamura. Beth Phoenix is on commentary. She's not very good on commentary. The actual match was pretty good. The show was just one match.
Do they have like promo packages and does it have its own entrance theme and stuff? Like its own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. But because it's all on the internet, the promos and the intros are all videos the wrestlers have put up to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
I've noticed they're using this a lot more.
So it's all like selfies, like, oh, we're gonna beat these guys. Ha ha ha.
They did this continually in SmackDown as well.
Yeah, it was really annoying.
Yeah.
Really annoying. As predicted by I think everybody, Finn Balor and Sasha Banks go forward. Sasha Banks made Natalya tap, so Nakamura is saved a little bit.
Sorry, say that again. Sasha made Natalya tap.
Tap.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nakamura actually looked pretty good. There was one point Sasha Banks did a suicide dive, and Nakamura caught her. And men and women are allowed to fight each other, so he caught her kind of and he didn't really know what to do, and he kind of played with it, and it was kind of funny, and she was going crazy, and he just put her down, there you go, it's cool, no worries.
Why can't I find this on Facebook?
I don't know. Well, I watched it on a stream. I didn't even watch it on Facebook.
So I went on Mixed Match Challenge.
Did you watch it live?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
But did you attempt to watch it?
No, I went to watch it the next day. It
should still be up there.
Well, I went on the official Facebook page, and the video is nowhere to be found. So I assume they're trying to make you watch this live.
Well, yeah. But I did read an article that it's got 1.3 million views so far. So I'm assuming that you can go and watch it.
Maybe it hadn't been uploaded when I saw it, but that's a bit silly to me. It should be instant.
So I've put a note here that Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura is a dream match that had been wasted.
Yeah, true.
Because that's a pay-per-view that's a WrestleMania quality match.
I'm just not interested in this whatsoever.
The match was disjointed. It was horrible because you have the women and the men going. So it's like 2 separate matches at the same time. But I'm going to say that on every single one of these matches.
But it's just a house show, isn't it? It's just a house show match.
But it was actually pretty. Because the entire show was one match. It was 15 to 18 minutes long ish.
But I just don't want to see it.
No.
I'll watch an 18-minute Finn Balor Shinsuke match. I'd watch a really good 18-minute Sasha Banks Natalya match. I don't want to see all 4 of them hanging around in the ring together.
So that was the thing that happened.
Okay, great.
Just one final funny note.
What would you give it out of 5?
1 3/4.
That's not fair, because I gave 205 1, and that was... I'm not going to say anything.
Well, it did have Shinsuke in it. Anyway, one final point to make on it was that Natalya's cat has more Instagram followers than Beth Phoenix.
Is this true?
Well, Michael Cole brought it up, and Beth Phoenix got very defensive about it.
Maybe this podcast should go follow Natalya's cat.
I think that's where we need to go.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, our universe ship has crashed. Where are we? Indietopia.
Gonna very, very quickly go through Impact with you.
Go on then.
So you had a random 6-man X Division tag match.
Who was in it?
It doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
See, I was going to talk about Impact this week, but there's literally no point.
Okay.
So I've gotten the random 6-man tag out of the way.
Alright.
So you had EC3,
Sure.
who has just been released,
Yep.
retaining against P.T. Williams.
Okay.
You had Laurel Van Ness, who's just been released, retaining against Casey Spinelli.
Okay.
You had Eli Drake, who's no longer a champion, announcing a 3-way with Del Rio Morrison for the championship next week. Then you had Lashley, who's been released, with KM beating Moose and Eddie Edwards in the main event. That's that.
Wow.
Every single thing on that show, apart from the X Division tag match, they're gone.
Wow. So they need to change direction on what their storylines very quickly.
Well, they
Otherwise-
can't because
it's all been taped.
they've got another 4 or 5 weeks in the can. But it just amazed me that EC3 released, retained. Laurel Van Ness released,
Well,
retained.
yeah, but when they taped this 5 weeks ago, they
But
didn't know EC3 was
Lashley,
gonna leave.
main event, won. Eli Drake, still champion. It boggles my mind that in a 5-week turnover, they lose all of the people that they're pushing heavily.
Yeah. And no one wants to be there.
It's embarrassing.
But also I read that they got a couple of signings. They got Austin Aries. They were trying to get Ray. So I find it weird that Impact have this revolving door. I don't know why workers are signing up with them. Because there's obviously something going wrong.
Like, I get the point of a wrestling show is to enjoy a wrestling show, but I am not bothering with Impact when you are spoiling on your social media what's happening and sounds more interesting in 6 weeks' time.
Yeah. True.
Why should I bother with this show?
Just
Because it doesn't mean anything to me. There's no level of importance on it because it's already gone.
Anything that happens now is going to have no effect in that pay-per-view you mentioned.
I mean,
in 6 weeks' time.
The championship that EC3 retained on this show has been retired. It was given to Josh Matthews as a joke. It's retired now.
So there's no point.
What's the point of watching it?
There's no point. So let's do Ring of Honor instead. So I've been enjoying Ring of Honor for the last couple of weeks.
Well, the last week, yeah.
Last week was great. This week was great as well. The highlight of the show was the opening match. Get this: Will Ospreay versus Jay Lethal.
Is Ospreay in Ring of Honor?
He turns up sometimes.
So it's like a sort of open revolving door.
Yeah. He's affiliated with them. He's not there. He's not their main roster.
Already sounds like a great match.
It was a fantastic. It was a pay-per-view style match. It was great. It was match of the night, moment of the show. Maybe definitely in the indie world, my moment of the week.
How long did it go?
Ages. No, probably not, because it's only an hour-long show, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but it went longer than the other matches.
You say this is your best moment in Indietopia.
Yeah.
What was your best moment overall?
Of the week.
Yeah.
Braun's a good shout, but actually, yeah, probably this match.
Yeah.
Probably this match. It was a high-speed spot fest, as you'd expect from both of them. However, there was a lot of, at first, and then the further the match went, the more slower it got and technical, which is great kind of Ring of Honor stuff. The crowd went mental, as you'd expect. There was a crazy ending where Jay Lethal does a backflip and almost lands on his head. Marty Scurll comes out because he's feuding with Jay Lethal. He doesn't really do anything. He kind of stares them down, and then he joins commentary for the most of the match, and he's hyping up a future match with Jay Lethal again. And then at the end, he looks like he's going to come and attack them, and he's just like, nah, and just walks out through the crowd.
Very interested by this.
So cool, man. It was
Ospreay,
great.
Scroll, and Lethal. Is Lethal current television champion?
No. He was
Just feuding.
Yeah, he was world champion, but 6 months ago.
That sounds really good.
Nah, it was cool. The next match, not so much. Kenny King beat some guy. They said his name once, and then they didn't say his name again, and I couldn't rewind it to find what his name was. So some local jobber,
Was
I guess.
it? Well, so just enhancement talent, was it?
Yeah, Ring of Honor don't tend to really do that, and Kenny King won. Wasn't a great match. It's to keep Kenny King relevant after he lost his championship. He calls out Silas Lung at the end of the match, the current TV champion, and they brawl in the ring. That's it.
Okay.
Not too exciting. Addiction, which is Kaz and Daniels.
Kaz and Daniels.
On the pay-per-view, they teamed up with Scorpio Sky, so they're now like a three-way team. They got on the mic and they were just chatting shit about how they're going to tear Ring of Honor apart. Joe Koff, the owner of Ring of Honor, I've mentioned him before. So he comes out and tells them that, that they're done. You can't be doing this. Daniel replies to this like, I know all your dirty secrets. When I was champion, You told me everything. I know your plans. And he name drops AJ, and he says, I'm still better. I talk to AJ all the time, and I'm sure people in the other company would love to hear your business plans. To which Joe Koff says, you've only got contract with us for a year, so final battle 2018, you're fired, you're done.
When's final battle?
It's December this year.
That's long build up.
Yeah, so after that apparently he's gonna fire him.
Is Daniel still drinking martinis?
No.
Oh,
He's
that's
a bit more edgy now.
I don't understand why the little companies don't just say WWE.
I think WWE try and sue him.
Why would they? It's free promotion.
Well, they try to sue the Young Bucks.
What were they saying though?
It's too sweet.
But that's different, isn't it? That's gimmick infringement.
Anyway, WWE, they don't like to play by the rules, do they? So the main event was the Kingdom, the guys with the axe, and the axe came into play in this match, versus Dalton Castle and his boys. Dalton Castle won by submission. It wasn't, compared to the opening match, it wasn't anything too special. Dalton Castle looked cool. Obviously, they're pushing him hard because he's the current champion. The Kingdom looked alright. They got this hard done by gimmick that the Ring of Honor are pushing them down and forcing them, not giving them opportunities and stuff.
Was Cody not on the show then?
No one from, you had Scroll, but no one from Bullet Club was on the show.
I'm interested as how they tape their shows. It's not an Impact situation, is it?
I think they tape a week before.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, so if Cody's on the show now, he would have blonde hair. Yeah.
Okay.
But they do TV taping, so I think they one weekend they record 2 shows maybe, so for the next 2 weeks or something like that.
Still better than Impact.
So yeah, 5-6 weeks behind is strange. A lot happens. Too much happens in that time.
Especially with a company like Impact. But the Ring of Honor sounds decent. Do you reckon I should start picking it up?
You really should. It's only an hour long, so it's an easy watch, and usually at least a third of the show is really entertaining.
Well, I've got a half hour free of my time now.
Well, you should watch. So you should fill your missing 205 gap with half of Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Okay. So New Japan is up to some stuff.
No, so I looked up New Japan. There doesn't seem to be anything going on. All I saw was a pay-per-view in association with CMLL.
CMLL. It's not a pay-per-view, it's a tour. So it's 8 shows. So it's 8 shows, and it's called Fantastica Mania. And it takes place entirely in Japan, but it's about the Mexican guys coming over and face all the Japanese guys. And because it's in Japan, the Japanese guys tend to get more of the wins. I haven't actually watched any of the shows. I looked at some of the results. There's nothing too important, interesting to note, so I didn't take any notes down.
So they've already happened?
They're on show 6 out of 8.
See, I saw a trailer, a crazy Japanese trailer, where they just shout, where they scream the names out.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any Japanese guys there at all. I don't know whether I just watched a trailer for the Mexican guys.
Yeah, it was probably just hyping the Mexican guys coming over.
I got a bit confused because I thought it was a New Japan sponsored Mexican lucha event.
No, it's just like a cross promotion show in Japan.
That makes it sound more interesting.
So yeah, you got the top guy like Naito has been on it, Tanahashi. There's stuff there. Yeah,
the trailer I watched made it purely out to be Mexican dudes.
They're probably just hyping the Mexican guys coming over. One other thing I want to note, I didn't put this in the news because it's not really, but ages I mentioned that Cody Rhodes wants to do his own show, and it's a bet against Meltzer that he can fill a 10,000 person arena without giving any free tickets away.
Very interested by that.
So it's got a date, and it's got a name.
Oh, it's happening?
Yeah, it's in August or October, I can't remember which, and it's called All In.
All In.
All In. As in, I think they're putting all their money into this. All in.
Right.
So, currently listed is all of the Bullet Club, obviously, all of the American Bullet Club, and Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, Tully's daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see?
And they said in the next weeks and months, a lot more names and bigger names are going to be.
So can you see, Cody going sort of Jeff Jarrett route? So he's gotten a lot of friends. His dad is a very famous booker promoter.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
10 years time,
he's making the money.
Maybe Cody Rhodes is WWE's competition.
If this show does 10,000 seats, makes a lot of money, and quality wise is a good show, Yeah, maybe he continues making them.
Goldust can come over, join his brother, and book and promote stuff.
And maybe it just becomes Bullet Club Wrestling.
Before you know it, the Rhodes boys are on top of the world. We can dream.
There you go.
That'd be lovely.
That could happen. It could happen. So that's all the indie news I got for this week. I got a few more indie things to bring up, but in its own segment.
So, out of the weeklies, best show of the week?
Best show... Well, I enjoyed Ring of Honor.
Mine was SmackDown. Worst show of the week?
I guess Raw.
Mine was 205.
Yeah, well, 205 was a disappointment. Actually, no, is Mixed Match Challenge considered a show?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, that was the worst show then. That's automatically going to be the worst show for the next 6 weeks.
Well, then we're diffusing the situation. You're not allowed to say that anymore then.
Okay, then probably Raw.
Raw,
because usually there's at least something exciting.
Raw was pretty bad this week, and I'm worried about Raw because you've got this big 25 bash next week, and they've hardly, apart from a couple of stupid vlog segments, they haven't really hyped up this Rumble at all.
They haven't really, have they? Not at all.
I'm a bit worried about this Royal Rumble hype.
I thought they would be talking a lot more about it, but...
They need to get on it. Well, Vince is so focused on the big Raw 25 that he's forgetting that he's got a pay-per-view in 2 weeks.
But the funny thing is I went on and bought my own wrestling company called the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, alright, Billy. Well, it's time to check in, isn't it?
Catching up with Billy Corgan.
So this is fun. In 1 week, they've posted...
Five videos? No, 5 videos in the match.
Yeah, 5 videos on the match. And over Christmas there was barely nothing, no activity. So I only watched 3 videos: the match and the 2 before that. And the 2 before that were pretty much just hype,
stipulation and rules and stuff.
Yeah, one was Josephus talking to camera. The other one was Tim Storm on the phone. A lot of these videos are someone on the phone talking.
They use the phone promo a lot. And I think this is because...
they don't have an arena to just do promos in.
They don't have an arena to do promos in, and they don't even really have, like, a place.
No.
So, a lot of the time, I reckon Billy Corgan's phoning up Tim Storm from his house, and phoning up Josephus from his house, and just getting a promo out of that.
And there was another one with Austin Idol, which is apparently the manager to Nick Aldis, who is the champion. So, Nick Aldis won the championship, and now we're not watching him at all.
Well,
all the attention is off the belt.
Okay, so before we get to that, I just because this is my first week watching NWA in quite a while. This is my introduction to the Josephus character.
Okay.
I really like it. It's very weird. So I watched Josephus with his 45-day period of contemplation. Which I thought was great. But then the really good one was Josephus and his spiritual advisor. Shocking actions towards Tim Storm. One thing I have to say about NWA is they really need to improve the titles of their YouTube videos. But Josephus and his really creepy spiritual advisor, have you seen her? She's like completely bald.
Yeah, she's bald.
And she doesn't say anything. She does more not. She's like the speechless Paul Heyman. She manages to say everything without saying anything. But they go to Tim Storm's daughter's house.
Yep.
And it gets quite creepy. I think this is the way Bray Wyatt should be booked.
You
know, this is good stuff.
Very similar to this.
I don't understand why we're in the Impact arena for an empty arena match. I don't understand anything about that at all.
So all the videos set up this match.
Tim Storm versus Josephus in an empty arena match from Impact Wrestling.
At the Impact Zone.
At the Impact Zone.
In Florida. And Jeremy Borash calls it.
Yeah. See, I think this must be some kind of rib from Corgan. Because he's like telling his former employers, this is an empty
I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah?
He's gone back to where he had invested a lot of money.
This is the only reason I can think for doing an empty arena match. He's like, we go to the Impact Zone, there's no one there. Right?
There's no one ever there.
It must be some sort of rib.
I can't work out at all why they would do an empty arena match whatsoever.
This was a very strange and sometimes very dull 18 minutes. This went 18 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long match.
There is no reason, rhyme or need to be doing an empty arena match 2 months into your promotion.
And not even that long into the feud.
I didn't understand this at all. I didn't really make many notes of it. All I have to say for it was surreal.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the good type of empty arena match. Empty arena matches should never go this long.
Have you ever seen a good empty arena match?
I remember that Kurt Angle Sting one, but I think that's just nostalgia.
I remember the most famous one, which is The Rock versus Mick
Mankind,
Foley.
yeah.
But even that one makes no sense.
No. But
None of them make sense.
But both of them were kept really short.
Yeah.
This was 18 minutes long. This is a no-no.
About halfway through, they ended up just doing the same things over and over.
Yes, but that chair shot fall onto 2 ladders was so nasty. Did you see that?
The ending, where he
he falls on one ladder and then falls off onto the other
on
one.
another ladder.
For an old man, that is an amazing bump.
Yeah, so Josephus wins it, which means he gets a champion shot at the NWA champion Nick Aldis.
But he wins it. Does he get that? I didn't think that was part of the stipulation.
It was a contendership match.
Oh, okay. So he wins it, but Tim Storm controls like 3/4 of this match.
Yeah.
Just beats him up.
Yeah, they're fighting into the chairs and then up into the bleachers, and he's just like shouting at him, swearing at him, telling him like, "You can't do that to my daughter," and all this.
I like when Tim Storm says, "Oh, you think you can mess with me? I'm a freaking school teacher."
Yeah, like it was really cool for the first 3 minutes when they're doing that, and then when they came back down the bleachers and they were doing stuff with like chair shots and stuff, he was then saying the same things over and over again. And at that point, it was like, this is going on too long. Like, they've run out of stuff.
I would have made this 8 minutes tops.
Yeah,
and just kept the final...
The thing is, it's a YouTube video as well, so it doesn't even need to be long.
And just kept the final spot, because the final spot was really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very good match. But what you were saying about Nick Aldis...
Yep.
They are now using Nick Aldis, because at Sunday's Impact tapings, Nick Aldis, Tim Storm, and Dave Lagana were back at the Impact Zone.
Okay.
For some reason, but they're not part of the...
They're not part
of Impact.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether they're now being allowed to perform in front of that audience and it just won't be filmed for Impact.
Yeah.
Or they're just going to go stand in an empty arena again. Who knows? But they were all back. They were backstage. So Josephus wasn't there.
That's weird.
So I don't know what's going on here.
This all goes back to what I was saying about NWA a while back. That I'm confused about the talent they're molding the company around at the moment. Like you said, Josephus cool. He's got a cool character, but he's not a wrestler. He's first off, he's a brawler. He's got a bit of a beer gut. Like honestly, I think if you're gonna start the NWA company, you would want sculpted, technical wrestlers that really look good.
Every single week you say something about NWA and I rush to their defense.
Yeah.
This week, again, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Because I think that they are purposely choosing an old guy, a weird...
I love the Tim Storm stuff.
Weird fat dude that's into spiritual stuff. And then they got your cocky champion.
Yeah.
I don't think they care so much about the wrestling.
Okay.
They're trying to create the stories to connect with the audience to get a larger following.
Okay.
I think wrestling here, and it kind of confirms it by doing a stupid empty arena match. Wrestling is not the importance to Billy Corgan right now. It's creating certain characters which people can then cling on to and be involved in, which is why the Tim Storm story is so prevalent everywhere.
The Tim Storm story is really good. I'm into that. I don't understand why Josephus is the arch nemesis to Tim Storm. I feel like I feel like there maybe could have been someone better than that.
Maybe he's cheap.
And why have we still only got 3 guys on the NWA roster?
I think Billy's probably gonna use them as much as possible for as long as possible before he hires anyone else. He's gonna play everyone against each other and do every possible combination he can, then hire someone else.
Yeah, well, like we say every week, we'll stay tuned and see what happens.
It's a very, very slow build.
You tell me this every week, and all I can say is I still don't quite understand the direction it's going in.
I still got hope for him, but I am getting a bit sick of him putting his songs in his videos. Because he did that enough in TNA.
Well, it's cheap, isn't it?
It just pisses me off. I don't like your solo album, Billy. I told you last week. It was a bit bad. I'm sorry. It was very generic.
Okay.
It was a very generic solo album.
It
lasted 8 songs.
Right.
I listened to it 6-7 times to try and get into it.
I'm going to cut it at about 7:21.
You should let me have my little rant occasionally. You're such a dictator, you fascist.
What in the world of wrestling? Okay, so the first proper time we're doing this, I watched Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, because I thought this is quite an up-and-coming company. It's going to be quite important. I actually even was going to go so far and include this in Indietopia, our weekly roundup of shows.
You complain every week about the volume of shows, and then you go and add Hollywood wrestling.
However, after watching this show, it will not be included weekly to the Indietopia.
So tell me everything about it. Is it an hour long? Does it have video packages? What it's like?
It is 47 minutes long. It had no video packages.
Does it have an entrance package?
Like
an opening package?
Yeah, it had an opening package. And then we go backstage to some guy that was way too happy interviewing Watts, who is going to be contending for the championship tonight, and his manager. His manager did more of the talking. Halfway through this entire show, I realised the sound of the crowd was a lot louder than the number of people actually in the crowd. And it clicked that that's been added on.
Yeah, they do this for Impact every single week.
Yeah, but at least in Impact it looks like there's more than 20 people there.
Now, I don't want to hijack your segment, but what I forgot to tell you during the NWA thing. Did you think that the Impact Arena looked pretty good?
Yeah.
It does not look anywhere near as good as that when there's people in it.
Really?
The NWA segment looked so much better than Impact usually does.
They made an empty arena look
better than
a full arena.
I think because an empty arena is better than an arena with 20 people in it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, this one had literally 20 people in it, and they weren't shouting as much as the audio track was. Anyway, a little bit about the company. It's a part of the United Wrestling Network. I didn't know what this was, but it's like a mini NWA. It was established in 2013, and CZW are part of it, and so is 01 from Japan.
So this, in theory, should be towards the better side of things.
Should be. So the opening match was Reno Scum versus
I know Reno Scum.
The United Wrestling Network Tag Team Champions, Pac 3.
I know Reno Scum.
Reno Scum won the championships.
They were in TNA for a little while.
So I didn't really know either teams, but I could tell from the match quality that the right team just became champions.
Reno Scum were pretty bad in TNA. They got let go by TNA.
Well, they looked pretty good against Pac 3.
Well, that's because they're in Hollywood wrestling now.
If the whole thing, the wrestlers, the style of wrestling, it feels like it's a developmental for another company, like for someone like Impact, for a small company. Anyway, that was a shit match. Second match was a four corners match. Nick Kicks, Ryan Taylor, Bateman, which I'm pretty sure they're trying to play that off as Batman, versus
or Master Bateman.
Versus Dickie Mayer. Dickie Mayer won.
Dickie Mayer and Flick Kicks.
Matt Kicks.
Matt Kicks.
Yeah.
Dickie Mayer and Matt Kicks.
Yeah. I told you, it's like a shitty developmental.
Oh, give me 205 any day of the week, bro.
Dickie Mayer won that match. It was an appalling match. It went on too long. The crowd was into it, though, so these guys are obviously pretty good for the home crowd.
Yeah, but we're really into local shows when we go.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the wrestling's good.
Matt Nix did actually look pretty cool. He did a really cool springboard moonsault. It looked like he should have won, but obviously I don't know the stories or whatever.
I don't think anyone does.
But Ryan Taylor, apparently he has beaten, on Hollywood TV, Jack Swagger and Alberto Patron.
Alberto Patron has been on Hollywood Wrestling.
And he's been beaten by Ryan Taylor. So says the commentators. I don't know, that's what the commentators said.
Sure thing.
Sure. The commentators were the best part of this show. They were actually really good.
They're above the product.
Yeah. I've actually got a note here that the commentators should be picked up by Impact.
Oh, I beat Josh Matthews any day of the week.
Yeah, and Jeremy Borash. It would be sort of... Anyway, our main event is the Hollywood Heritage Championship. Their top belt.
That's actually quite a cool name.
Bad Dude Tito...
That's not...
is the champion versus Watts. It goes...
the guy at the start of the show.
Yeah, it goes barely 9 minutes. It's shorter than the first two matches. Watts can't sell anything. He's awful. He does this big boot where he literally steps forward and puts his leg up, and the guy just runs into it and just tries and sells it. Bad Dude Tito is actually... He was pretty cool. He was pretty good. He deserves to be champ. He retained. He needs a new name, though. His suplexes were amazing. The crowd were into it again. This is when I realised the crowd were not as loud as the size of them. And that was it. That was the show.
So you take that show.
Yeah.
You're now in control of it. You have got Scotty Too Hottie and Eugene. What did you do with it?
Oh, Eugene's champion. Straight away. Eugene's champion.
Scotty Too Hottie, man. It's all about the worm.
No, Scotty Too Hottie becomes tag team champion by himself.
All right.
No, I could play it. I mean, I don't even know the whole roster. This Nick Kicks guy was pretty good. Him and Scotty Too Hottie could maybe have a program.
Do you reckon these guys are like full time here or just hired?
No, well, I reckon they're on the roster, but I reckon they've got an open contract.
Because if Reno Scum is stuck in Hollywood wrestling, that is quite a come down from Impact, which is quite a come down from anywhere.
I don't think they're stuck. I think they're just moving in and out, and they just do dates with Hollywood.
Fair enough.
But the United Wrestling Network, they have 2 championships. They have the Tag Championship, and they have a TV Championship, who is Rocky Romero.
Okay.
So that network seems pretty good. Hollywood Wrestling seems pretty awful.
Time now for our fight replay. It's time!
Cage Corner.
Cage Corner.
Do you have anything for this?
No.
Okay.
I've just everything that I have for this week is what I said last week. It's Bellator.
We're still just waiting for Bellator.
January 20th.
Dates. Okay, so we had Fight Night last weekend. This was a crazy mess. Shall I just go through it quickly? Uriah Hall versus Vitor Belfort was cancelled due to Hall fainting on the way to the weigh-ins because he weight cut too much.
That was the only thing that I was watching.
Yep, so was I. The prelim, Burnell versus Santiago. Burnell didn't make weight, so it was a catch weight fight. He still won, but he didn't earn any money. Zach Cummings versus Diego Alvarez was cancelled due to Cummings being injured 2 days before.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is a cursed card.
On top of that, the most perfect woman in MMA ever, Paige Van Zandt, lost.
Does that upset you?
Yeah, so I didn't watch the card. I'm not going to watch it.
All right.
The most interesting thing to come from this weekend, in an interview before the fight night, Paige Van Zandt was asked if she would ever take up pro wrestling. And she said she's a massive pro wrestling fan. She has not yet been asked, but if Vinnie Mac ever knocks on her door, she's signing straight away.
4th MMA horsewoman?
No, it should be the 5th, because there's the 4 horsewomen.
Who's the 4th?
I don't know, I can't remember their names.
Well, you got Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey.
And then another one. The other one was in the Mae Young Challenge.
Okay.
And they asked her, would you take a match with Ronda? And she's like, of course I'd have to have a match with Ronda in WWE, and they would have to let us put in some real punches.
Oh, I'd look forward to that.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? So UFC 220. So it's really just the 2 main events that are selling the show. That's all you got. So you got Street Miocic versus Francis Ngannou.
Yep.
For the heavyweight championship.
Who you got?
I got Miocic.
Same.
Really?
Yep.
I thought you were going to...
No.
A lot of people...
I've seen Miocic in
yeah.
action. I think people are underestimating him massively.
Like, I'm going to list off some of the wins he's got here, right? Dos Santos, Overeem, Werdum, Arlovski, Mark Hunt, Roy Nelson, and Gonzala.
Yeah. I think Miocic's going to retain.
He's destroyed the heavyweight
There's
division.
so much hype around Ngannou right now, justifiably,
Yeah.
that people are forgetting who he's actually facing.
Yeah. Ngannou, obviously, he killed Overeem, but his only other notable UFC win is Arlovski, but Arlovski has kind of lost it recently. So
it'd definitely be an interesting fight, I think, and I think it either go one round or it go the distance.
I hope it doesn't go the distance. By round 4 or 5, these two will both be on the floor struggling.
I don't think that they can. I don't think either of them will be able to sort it out within 2 or 3.
I reckon these two are gonna knock each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
So the co-main is Daniel Cormier versus Volkan Ozdemir.
Okay.
Ozdemir. I got my boy Cormier.
Yeah. See, I'm only buzzed about this because you talk about Cormier literally every fucking day. I go to you, I say, "Hey Ben, how are you doing?" You just shout, "Daniel Cormier."
That's how I'm doing.
That's what you do.
So no time Ozdemir. He shot through the ranks very quickly.
Okay, so I got Cormier because
I got Cormier.
Cormier is the number 2 light heavyweight.
Well, as I said, Ozdemir.
But there's only one champion in that division. You know it. There's only one champion in that division.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
Cormier is the champion.
John Jones, baby.
Who stands as champion? Cormier stands as champion.
Yeah, because John Jones has fucked himself. He's made himself lose twice.
Yeah, well...
Cormier cannot take John Jones in a fight. I'm sorry. It's like Superman and Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor's really intelligent. He's very clever. He's very badass villainy, and he can take most superheroes, but he can't take Superman. Because Superman is John Jones and Lex Luthor is Daniel Cormier.
Okay, I'll let you have that.
I know it upsets you. I can see the pain in your eyes. But it's true.
So the rest of the card, you're not going to know any of these guys. Calvin Cutter versus Shane Burgos. Guillaume Velletin versus Francimir Baruso. Thomas Almeida versus Rob Font. And Dustin Ortiz is on the prelim.
I'm sure they're all very good.
So it's really just the 2 title fights selling this pay-per-view.
I'll be watching the 2 title fights.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's Cage Corner.
Lovely.
On this day, boy.
Well, it's time for the best segment of the week.
Of course it is.
I've already shouted it in the jingle.
Alright.
On this day.
On this day.
It is Thursday, January the 18th.
Okay.
And as usual...
I mean, what happened?
we're going to do shows first.
Yeah.
This week, because I haven't got a lot.
We always do shows first.
Oh, do we?
I think so.
All right. So, I picked something slightly out of the radar here.
Alright.
It's a WWE Velocity taping from 2005.
Wow. Wow, okay. What happened?
I only picked the show just to say the names
Okay.
and see whether you had any reminiscence.
2005?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the equivalent of main event or superstars, right?
Yeah.
So the first match was Paul London and Funaki versus Nunzio and Shannon Moore.
Yeah, I know all those names.
Would you watch that match?
Yeah, probably. Well, I probably would have done when I was a kid.
The second match was Hardcore Holly
Yeah.
versus Robbie McAllister of the Highlanders. Do you remember the Highlanders?
I remember the Highlanders, but I don't remember Robbie. I don't remember his name.
One of the Highlanders got fired because he took his son to Impact and got shown by TNA on TV.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
What an idiot. And the third match was Charlie Haas versus Kenzo Suzuki.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It sounds better than main event to me.
Yep.
And then there was only one pay-per-view today,
Okay.
which is Thursday, January the 18th. Royal Rumble 1998,
Okay.
in which Steve Austin beat 29 other men to win the Royal Rumble for the second year in a row.
Yep.
And he was I think he was the third man to do this. And the Royal Rumble we watched today for the Vault,
Yep.
that was the fourth man to do it.
Okay.
8 Rumble entrants in this Rumble lasted longer than 25 minutes, which is a little unusual.
That's cool. Yeah, it's quite.
So if you think about the lagging that we had in Royal Rumble 2003 last week,
Yeah.
it lasted a lot longer
This one
here.
was more than that.
I don't think this was a very good
This
match.
wasn't the best Rumble ever.
The Rock lasted 51 out of the 55 minutes, so I think he was the man of the match.
Did he come in first?
Yeah. And this was also... I don't know. Maybe Austin came in first.
Oh, okay.
No, he wouldn't have. He must have come in first because he was the longest entrant.
Okay.
So The Rock came in first. This was also the Mania, the Rumble, where Foley appeared 3 times.
Oh, okay.
He did his Cactus Jack,
Yeah.
Mankind, and Dude Love. The Rock was very impressive this evening because he also pulled double duty that night, beating Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental Championship.
Nice.
So he lasted 51 minutes in a Rumble and did a IC Championship match.
Cool. Go Rocky.
This sounds fun. Max Mini, Mini Nova, and Mosaic faced Battalion, El Torito, and Tarantula in a 6 little person tag match, refereed by Sonny.
6 little person. Wow.
I didn't want to say the M word because I know that's a lot of people don't like that. I said M word, by the way.
Little person.
Shawn Michaels beat The Undertaker in a casket match, causing a back injury that would later lead him to retire. This was the match.
Oh, well, he became the commissioner.
Yeah, and the best part of the whole show, and I remember watching this on an old tape when I was a kid, following the main event, Kane came out and set fire to the casket The Undertaker was in.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
No.
Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I think maybe not.
It's great. He literally just douses it in flames.
So this is they were already feuding at this point, or was that like the start of them feuding?
No, they'd been feuding for a while, I think.
Okay.
So that was Royal Rumble 98. There was a couple of other matches on there, but nothing interesting. And 98, as well as the Foley stuff, this was also when Terry Funk was Chainsaw Charlie.
Okay, yeah.
And they put a load of crazy stuff in the ring. Oh, and one of the referees had to go to hospital and was in hospital for 3 weeks because Phineas Godwin, who weighed a lot, fell on him. So, that was Rumble 98.
Do you know where he fell on him?
No.
What body part was broken for
Just
3
thought that
weeks?
was a nice little fact for you.
That's cool. No, I like it.
Birthdays.
Okay.
I think some of these are quite easy.
Oh,
But
right.
we'll try. First one.
Yep.
I'll go with that, but so you won't get it. Has never wrestled for either WWE, WCW, TNA, ECW, but was ranked number 49 of the top 500 wrestlers in the 2013 PWI.
Kenny Omega.
No. I just got that out of the way because I knew you wouldn't get it because you'd probably get this one. 9-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion and twice winner of the Honor Rumble.
No.
No?
No.
Embroiled in a feud with Brother Ray and Tommy Dreamer. At the moment.
One of the Briscoes.
Not called Jay.
Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe. Happy birthday,
Happy
Mark
birthday,
Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe.
Okay, so the next one.
Yep.
King of the Ring winner in 1988. Three-time tag champ with IRS and 2010 Hall of Famer.
I've forgotten his name.
His son worked for WWE between 2008 and 2013.
Thingy Owen.
No, I've just said he was a 3-time tag champ with IRS. That is Owen. Owen R. Shyster.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna get it this one then.
Devout born again Christian.
Shawn Michaels.
Created his own championship in WWE. Has Shawn Michaels got a son that worked for WWE? I never saw that. Created his own championship.
I'm not linking the clues together. I'm just he created his own championship.
Yeah.
What, like he had his own custom belt?
I thought you'd get this immediately.
He had his own belt, or like he
He had his own belt.
Stone Cold.
No.
The Rock.
No. He had his own championship.
Oh, like his $1 Million Man.
What's his name?
Ted DiBiase.
Happy birthday, Ted DiBiase.
Happy birthday, Ted DiBiase.
Hope Shawn Michaels' son's doing alright. Okay, so the last one has... Oh, no, you get that. Faced Umaga in a SmackDown vs. Raw match at WrestleMania 24.
Batista.
Fuck!
Yeah!
That was the easiest one to... That was the hardest question that I had.
What were the other two?
Has appeared in such films as The Scorpion King 3, The Man with the Iron Fists, and Marauders.
Should have started with that one.
Would you have not got
I
that?
wouldn't have got that
Damn
one.
it, that was the first one on the page.
Ah!
I just thought you'd get it.
I told you like 2 days ago WrestleMania 24 is one of my favourite.
Yeah, but that was like the most boring match. I thought you'd
Yeah,
blocked
but
it
I'll
out of
still
your head.
remember it.
Happy birthday, Batista.
Happy birthday, Batista.
That was my on this day.
I was thinking next week, on this day, I don't know if it's at Morbid.
Don't try and use my on this day.
No, I'm not
I
trying
control
to use
my
it.
on this day.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What was the idea?
No, I was just saying you could add more, just for more fun.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking you could do either debuts or retirements.
Or deaths.
Or deaths. But I don't know if deaths is a bit morbid.
I have looked at the deaths.
Yeah. Just anything where there's...
Although my site wasn't right. This is why I double check everything. Because
Yeah,
it told
good.
me it was Carl Anderson's birthday today. And I
Okay.
looked him up on Wikipedia. And it's Carl Anderson's birthday in 2 days' time.
But can you be sure?
Wait, I trust Wikipedia.
Well, you shouldn't. Wikipedia's not a reliable
I trust it
source.
more than the site that I use.
Okay.
So happy birthday in
You-
2 days' time, Carl
You
Anderson.
need to find a third source that is...
I'm sorry that my co-partner here on the podcast didn't wish you a happy birthday, but
No.
I'm wishing you a happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, it's a bit belated now, Ben.
Okay.
It's only in 2 days' time.
Fun news?
Yeah, let's do the fun news.
And now, it's time for the news with me, your anchor, Benito.
So last week I did less, and it was better. This week, I've gone a bit crazy with it again.
Oh no.
So some of them are fun. I'm not sure about a couple of them. I'll start with this. Travis Scott is a DJ in America. I don't know who he is, but apparently he has a record label, and he's named that record label Cactus Jack.
Nice.
It's named after his father.
Oh,
Um,
what? Foley?
no,
Bastard Child.
no.
You don't know who Travis Scott is?
I probably know his music.
He's not a DJ.
Isn't he not?
He's a rapper.
Oh, I probably know his music, but I don't know.
Alright.
Is he a murmuring rapper?
You snob.
I am, yeah. So Cactus Jack. Mick Foley also was named Cactus Jack after his father. So both of them have named it after their father. Anyway, WWE are trying to oppose the trademark that Travis Scott has put through.
Okay.
Mark Henry has quietly retired.
Yes, I saw this one. But he will be on Raw 25.
He is also taking autograph signing bookings with local indies.
But he's still under contract.
But he can now work indies
right.
to do signings only. He only wrestled 3 matches last year.
I wasn't his last match the Battle Royal?
No, I think he had one with Braun on Raw TV.
Okay.
Okay. This one, I'm just to get out of the way. Big Show was on TMZ, says that the Big Shaq match will never happen.
Oh, bro. We've already been waiting for that for like 10 years.
Gutting, isn't it?
I didn't he say last year Big Shaq's a pussy? Because I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year, can't be bothered.
Nobody cares anymore.
Nobody
anyway.
cares anymore. This was not so fun. It's a bit scary. Richard Rodriguez is a steroid dealer that is in prison. He's whistleblowed about all of his celebrity customers, and the top of his list was Roman Reigns.
Ooh, Roman.
So that's a bit scary.
Well, that would be his second offence, won't it?
I guess so, yeah.
Because he got suspended.
So third, and the face of the company is out.
He needs to get Jinder Mahal's dealer. Cause
that guy seems to keep it quiet.
Hey, Jinder don't get hindered.
Okay, so I got a double bill of Bullet Club. So, I don't know why this is in the news this week, because it happened years ago, but the Young Bucks had an interview about their trial for WWE before they signed for Ring of Honor. However, they had chosen that they will go to Ring of Honor before the trial, so they made it look in the press that they would choose Ring of Honor over WWE, although they already knew they were going to do Ring of Honor.
Oh.
So they went to the trial, and apparently you have to show up like in a suit. They showed up casual because they didn't give a shit. And you're meant to be all polite and like be nice to all the WWE guys. They didn't give a shit. They were joking and laughing about.
So they did, wait, you have to turn up.
You have to turn up in a
suit for a performance center tryout.
Yes.
That's a bit embarrassing.
And they turned up in like their own merchandise or something.
Good.
And they made like a sham of the whole thing. Apparently they had a match against good friends Jerry Ryan and Scorpio Sky. And instead of doing what WWE asked, to have like a WWE style match, they put on a 5-star indie match.
Fantastic.
Apparently they put on one of the best matches they've ever had in their lives in front of about 6 WWE officials.
Why not?
Yeah.
It sounds like they came in there just to show that they're better.
They did. And then they signed Ring of Honor, and then the internet went crazy that they chose Ring of Honor over WWE.
I mean, that is more of a middle finger to Vince than CM Punk ever did.
Yeah, and it's clever marketing for themselves.
You can tell the grandkids that.
Yeah. Second bit of news is Cena had a Facebook interview, and he was asked if he would ever join the Bullet Club.
Saw this.
His reply was, "I'm a grizzled veteran, and I don't think they'll have me." To which the Young Bucks replied on Twitter, "Of course we'll take you. Think of all that colourful Bullet Club merch."
I didn't see that bit. I said that I didn't see the colourful bit.
Like all the Fruity Pebble Bullet Club t-shirts.
Whoa, Fruity Pebble Bullet Club.
Yeah, right? That would be cool.
I want to see that.
Anyway, more WWE on Facebook. They put up a post about the club reforming with Finn Balor, and in their statement they put the Bullet Club has reformed. Yeah, right. And
Please tell me Cody was straight on that.
no one in the Bullet Club's actually like replied to this, but all the fans on the replies went mental, and within about 20 minutes they changed it to the club.
Oh, that's such a shame. Cody should have got on that within 10 minutes and said, "That's gimmick infringement. I'm suing you."
I mean, I'm surprised the Young Bucks didn't get on it, because I've got here a lot of the replies or the hypocrisy that WWE are suing the Young Bucks over Too Sweet, yet they put Bullet Club, which is a trademark owned by New Japan,
instead of Balor Club.
So.
Ooh, hot water. That's
Yeah.
a rare fuck up by WWE. They don't usually do stuff like that.
Well, it was their marketing team fucked it up. Awesome Kong.
Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
Still alive?
She's still alive, and she wants to be a part of the Women's Rumble.
I could see it. I could see them taking it back.
However, she said she's not been offered anything yet and probably won't be in it, but she would like to do it.
She was only in WWE for about 6 months, wasn't she?
Yeah, she wasn't very long.
It was a sad story because she had a miscarriage.
Yeah, she was going to be
Vince
pregnant,
actually became quite a nice employer. He paid her for another year.
Really?
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to do that.
No, that's a surprising one. So one more here, you're going to find this one stupid. A 4-year-old kid stone cold stunned a wrestler at Black Label Pro Wrestling.
So where'd you find that one, then? And how is... I get the fun part, but how is that news to anyone? Was the wrestler The Undertaker? What?
No, it was...
Do you know who the wrestler was?
It was one half of the Carnies. And
The what?
The Carnies. And they were... No, it gets better. They were having a match against Space Monkey and Dick Justice.
Oh my god.
And this 4-year-old kid was brought into the match and Stone Cold stunned one of them. I saw the video.
This is the reason that I love wrestling.
It was quite funny. So here's my biggest story. It's not been a good week for me. Here's my biggest story. So do you remember the Gregory Helms versus Mia Khalifa, the porn star?
Yeah. Updates?
It continues.
Oh, you can so obviously tell Shane Helms is just trying to get laid. He's just trying to do that, I don't like you vibe to make her like her.
So, she has been invited to a local indie and posted on Twitter, looking forward to laughing in the wrestlers' faces. To which point, our boy Hurricane replied, "Didn't I lay this chick to rest?" She's thrashing wrestling, and by proxy, all the fans. So of course, some indie wrestling company has offered her a free ticket. Lol, you gotta love pro wrestling.
Love it.
To which point, Sean Holtman replied.
Oh, X-Pac.
The X-Pac said the company that booked her on the show are lame as fuck.
See, Shane Helms has become more interesting to me in his Twitter career than he ever was in his actual career.
Yeah.
And I just love how X-Pac is so obviously stoned when he does anything. You've missed a fun news story.
What did I miss?
You missed one.
What did I miss?
I've got one for you.
Oh, is it the one you shared with me? But it's a bit old now.
Is it old?
Well, no, I think it was just at the beginning.
Well,
of the
Heath Slater
Yep.
got trapped in a bathroom
Yeah.
on a plane.
On a plane.
For over 45 minutes. And the best part of the story is while they're trying to get him out, and this is legit as well, he couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Curtis Axel filmed the whole thing and mocked him through the door.
Awesome.
The whole time. Even when the emergency service was like, we really can't get him out. Curtis Axel doesn't get worried. He's like, yo, stop jobbing about, jobber. You losing into a bathroom door now? So I enjoyed that.
Awesome. Okay, so that's the news. While we were just taking a break, I found a piece of fun news that we have to add today. Because it was just posted today, but it's brilliant, okay? I haven't had time to scribble it down, so I'm just going to read straight from the article. It's from the Metro.
The Metro?
The Metro.
Alright.
Have you ever imagined a night out which combines one of the biggest names in entertainment, a unique venue, songs, puppets, and a glimpse into a dystopian future?
I'm already interested.
If so, you're in luck. A brand new musical based on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is debuting in London next week as part of the Vault Festival.
What?
Created and produced by women's collaboration project Nevertheless.
What?
The People's Rock is a play which is set to reflect a paranoid edge of the 1984 with the warmth and atmosphere of Hairspray.
What are you talking about?
Set in a world 30 years in the future, but carrying eerie simulations to the present, a teenage girl is living in America under the leadership of Emperor Trumpus.
Oh, I don't understand.
There's no television, internet, or democracy, and everybody has forgotten the past, but one girl's obsessed with the idea about the legend that is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All the singing and dancing play. Can we go? It sounds amazing.
Yes, we can go. Yes, we can go. So
it's about Emperor Trump.
It's about
taking over America, and this one girl's obsessed about the legend of The Rock.
So The Rock comes to save the world.
I think so.
And it's written by a women's association.
Yep.
and it's they're
And The Rock is a puppet.
oh my god, this looks so good.
It looks mental, man.
And I love the tagline. It's the paranoid edge of 1984
Yeah.
mixed with Hairspray.
Yeah.
About The Rock.
Yeah.
What does The Rock think? I need The Rock's reaction right now.
Let's see if there's a Rock reaction.
That's an amazing.
The Rock-
You've outdone yourself
The
today.
Rock has been played by a puppet. I was sad coming in today because I had no Rock news.
You have saved your entire segment.
Yeah, I've got some Rock news. He's the only puppet in the musical.
And everybody else is real.
Yeah. The premise is that
This gets weirder by the second.
this gets even. The premise is that Dwayne Johnson has been turned into a cult figure, like a Stalinist in Russia. I can't say that word.
Stalinist.
And is still the people's champion. But he's also
Did they just compare The Rock to Stalin?
yeah. But he's also keeping them in line and doing time checks. What the fuck?
So the Rock's a communist.
And he suddenly disappears overnight, and everyone pretends that he was never there, and it becomes a
What are you talking?
post-truth fake news event. Our main character won't accept it, and she doesn't understand why everyone.
You're hurting my
It's
brain,
giving up.
man. So this is a. The Rock's a communist, but he's also a puppet.
No, he's not a communist. He's like a legend, but he gets forgotten about because he becomes fake news.
And they're trying to bring the puppet back.
But the girl is. Everyone else wants to forget, or doesn't want to forget, but pretends it didn't happen.
It sounds like it came out of the scriptwriter of being John Malkovich's head.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah. I'm reading it as I'm going, but
I love that
you
it's from the Metro
You
as well.
got the idea. Well, the Metro covers all of like London shows and stuff, so. So there you go. There's your Rock news.
Well, I'm glad you put that in.
I'm gonna keep dates, and we're gonna watch it, and we're gonna report on the podcast.
Guys, we have a problem. The vault's been opened. Wrestle crap everywhere.
So this is the vault.
Welcome, everyone.
You didn't
know.
watch this whole show, did you?
No, I watched the Rumble and then the main event.
Well, you watched 3/4 of the main event until I told you that wasn't the finish of the main event, and then you're like, huh?
Yeah, I didn't watch. The
Yeah,
main
I
event.
should have just left it. I should have just allowed you to.
Yeah, I would have looked so stupid.
I didn't watch the pre-show. Antonio Cesaro faced The Miz for, I think, the US Championship.
Okay.
So yeah, Royal Rumble 2013, 27th of January 2013. Straight off, the hype package for The Rock, dream match, man. I miss Punk so much, and I didn't realize how much I missed this era, because when I was watching it during 2013, I was like, I miss the old days.
This was Punk at his finest, right?
Yeah, looking back now, these are the good old days now. Yeah, I'll go through it real quick. Del Rio meets Bret Hart backstage, who promotes Del Rio, puts the Hitman sunglasses on Ricardo Rodriguez. Apparently, Big Show's a heel, Del Rio's a face, and Bret Hart's like, you remind me of a Mexican Bret Hart. And then like, Del Rio says thanks, and he's supposed to be like a face, and he's supposed to feel happy about that. But then he just looks Bret Hart straight in the eye, and he's like, you remind me of a American Del Rio. And then he walks off. Bret Hart was not seen again. Very strange.
What? That was it.
That was it.
Okay.
First match.
He must have been on TV doing something.
I think he
Oh,
had.
is this the Mania where he's against Vince?
I think he had a thing with Shawn Michaels the night before.
Okay.
Anyway, first match is Big Show versus Del Rio in a last man standing match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
This looked terrible on paper. It's actually pretty good.
All right.
Good pace. Big Show looked like a monster for once.
Yeah.
Because they always turn him heel and he never looked.
He's back on. I've had
I mean,
this
no,
conversation
he looked
before.
he looked good here. He looked monster, and
Okay.
and that in turn made Del Rio look
Yeah.
like a proper good guy. It was a good use of gimmick. The spot being, there was a spot where Big Show got onto the scaffolding, picked Del Rio up by his throat, and then just slammed him into a table
Wow.
from scaffolding.
Wow.
It was really cool.
So they're really trying to sell Del Rio over as a face.
Yeah.
By putting up against like monsters.
Yeah, it's a good David and Goliath situation, and it was a good match. The finish, they were trying to make him like Eddie Guerrero, because
Okay.
Rodriguez taped up Big Show's feet so he couldn't stand up. and that's how Del Rio won. Yeah, it was a good opener. Then you had Rhodes Scholars versus Team Hell No,
Alright.
which was for the championships. I was watching this, thinking how weird it was to see Cody Rhodes versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It's like in 2018 that would be a dream match, but it definitely wasn't here.
No. I can imagine.
This was fun, quite short tag match, really short. Felt like a good SmackDown main event.
That was two really weird tag teams.
Yeah,
Well.
yeah. I forgot about Sandow. I never liked him that much.
He was on Impact for a while.
Yeah, no, it's definitely nothing bad. It was entertaining and fun, but it was more like entertaining fluff than anything of substance.
Okay.
Another couple of hype package is one thing I didn't understand. According to the hype package, everyone on the roster is eligible to enter the Royal Rumble this year. So how does that work?
Wait, but the first 30 people that just walk out?
Yeah, apparently.
I miss the days when we were kids where like the lead up to the Rumble would be everybody getting their like on TV
Little balls.
Yeah, the little balls.
Yeah.
So you knew who was entering. You wouldn't know like the last 5 maybe, but you would know some.
And you had Teddy Long saying player and doing the little
Yeah,
turntable
it
thing.
made it feel a bit more. I mean, I know it's not meant to be a sport, but it made it feel a little bit more real that they're going into this knowing.
It was more fun as well.
Yeah, because nowadays it's just all random.
So yeah, anyway, that was the stuff you missed. It was only 2 matches on the undercard.
Okay, well.
It's what it is. Royal Rumble
So
match.
and then the Rumble.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was much better than the one we watched last week. Did you not like it?
Yes and no. I thought it was weird. I thought yeah.
I didn't think it ever really got boring, and I thought there was some good moments on it.
There was a lot of people in the ring all the time. It never went.
The roster was pretty good at this point as well, though.
Yeah, it's got a good roster.
The opening half was definitely stronger than the second half.
Yes.
I've got.
I think that's why maybe it just felt like it started to get boring.
I liked some of the. I liked the Goldust Cody spot. I liked how Jericho and Ziggler kept going for each other.
Yeah, so Ziggler and Jericho started the match 1 and 2. I got here that AJ Lee is with Ziggler at this point, and they made out.
Yes.
On the way to. That must
for
have been
quite a long time.
Yeah, that must have been killing Punk.
Well, Punk had also seen her make out with Kane, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
She was with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Sheamus at one point.
He probably had a stiff word with Ziggler before that match, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I found it funny that the crowd went crazy for Chris Jericho. I assume he hadn't been in WWE for quite a long time.
Oh, this was his return, maybe.
Yeah, and they kept chanting, "You've still got it."
Oh, and then yeah.
He's like, "I've always had it."
Yeah, and then he screams, "I never lost it, baby."
Yeah. But then like that's crazy. This was January 2013. He still got it in 2018.
Yeah. He's never gonna lose it.
Like again, we picked a Rumble. 10 years later, Chris Jericho is a focal point.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
So then number 3 is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And I've just got here, how different is 2017 Cody Rhodes to this?
True. But Cody was still good here.
He's good.
He just wasn't given.
He's not allowed to go.
And he wasn't on the same level either.
No.
Sheamus came out and killed everyone. Looking pretty strong. It was crazy to think how long some of these guys have been employed.
Yeah. That's what I've literally got a note here. Titus O'Neil enters at number 7. I did not realise he was around at this point.
No, David Otunga, number 9, he's still employed. Heath Slater, number 10.
Yeah.
They're still there.
Brodus Clay's there.
Always liked Tensai. All 6 months of his career.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed him.
I wasn't.
One thing I have to say about this is, so 2 of the big fun spots here were Chris Jericho and against Dolph Ziggler and Cody versus Goldust, right?
Yeah.
So you'd think that those became WrestleMania matches.
Definitely Cody versus Goldust.
Well, I looked it up. Cody versus Goldust were part of the Battle Royal pre-show.
Okay.
And I have no idea, because like Ziggler and Jericho had this rivalry all show long. And somehow, at WrestleMania, Ziggler ended up in the Tag Team Championship match with Big E Langston. And Jericho faced Fandango and lost.
Okay.
What
Great.
are you doing?
What WrestleMania is this?
29 is one of the really bad ones.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The next month at Elimination Chamber, Jack Swagger won the Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
It was not a good Rumble. A good Mania. I haven't got much else to say, man. Ray came back and did nothing.
Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas got completely ignored because best spot of the Rumble. There's something else happening here.
Didn't Bo Dallas nearly eliminate Cena?
No, he eliminated Wade Barrett.
Yeah, but the commentary team was going crazy, and they were like, "Oh, what if Bo Dallas actually does it?" Because he was in NXT at this point.
Yeah, but when Bo Dallas came out, everybody was focusing on the Kofi spot.
Oh yeah,
That was
Kofi
cool.
was doing the pogo chair.
So he got knocked off the apron onto Tensai,
yeah.
and then got thrown onto the announce table. Then he uses a chair to jump like a pogo stick back to the apron before being knocked out immediately by Cody Rhodes.
JBL's chair.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that was one of his 4 or 5 Rumble spots that he's done now.
He doesn't do them anymore, I don't think, but
Oh, is he
it was
not?
cool back in the day.
Yeah, it was. You were kind of waiting for it as well.
One antiquated thing here, WWE keeps promoting touting, which
Who?
was touting.
What's that?
It was a form of social media that was around for like 3 months.
Oh.
It was like the new it was like Twitter for video.
And they were trying to get on it very quick.
Yeah,
and
it was like 13.
didn't work.
You had 13 seconds to say something.
Oh, like Vine.
Yeah, sort of thing.
Okay.
Uh,
So I got here. Zack Ryder came in at number 25. At this point, he had 1 million YouTube followers.
yeah.
This is during his like rise to.
And apparently Natalia was dating Great Khali storyline at this point. And
Okay.
JBL said it was an interspecies relationship. and Michael Cole was like, "Why is it interspecies?" And he didn't know what to say so he was like, "Oh, because she's with like a giant Punjab." So great one, man. He just insulted, calling them interspecies. Yeah, that was kind of it, really. But Ryback was being booked to hell here.
Yeah, this is when Ryback was like the guy.
Yeah,
He was like the top billing. He came out last. didn't he?
massively pushed. Yeah, he was almost like what Roman Reigns is now, at that point.
Yeah, I guess.
Interesting Final Four as well. There's Cena, Sheamus, Ziggler, and Ryback.
Yeah.
And Cena eliminates Ryback to win his second Royal Rumble.
Cena wins.
The guy that was in for the longest time was Dolph Ziggler at 49 minutes 47
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler
seconds.
got like a really good showing. He was made to look strong in this.
I think they were booking Old Guard versus New Guard with Jericho and Ziggler.
Okay.
Shortest was The Godfather, who lasted 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was fun.
And people loved it anyway.
Oh yeah.
And he just put his glasses back on, went back with his hose.
He was eliminated and walked out of the arena before his entrance music finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a great time with it.
Yeah.
Everybody loved
Probably
it.
got paid a ton of money.
And the most eliminations was Ryback at 5.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Not King.
No. So yeah, no, it was an okay Rumble.
Yeah, it was okay. I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed it more than you, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
And you got.
I think, looking back at all the Rumbles, they're not very good to watch.
No, not
Back.
really in retrospect. I don't think.
No.
I agree with you.
The Rumble is the most fun. It's one of my favorite matches. It's the most fun match to watch, as the product is happening.
Yeah.
But I think looking back on them, it's you don't know the storylines. It doesn't.
And a lot of the guys you don't remember anymore as well.
Yeah,
And
they don't stand the test of time.
it's definitely a storyline match.
Yeah.
You get pumped for it because it kind of decides Mania.
Yes, true.
So looking back, if you're not looking forward to that Mania because it's already passed, it's not really a thing.
Because I think there's only 2 Rumbles that I know of that I can watch now and enjoy.
One of mine is
them I'm not.
2007. I can always go back to that.
Mine is 2000. Oh, we worked out last week. 2002.
11. Oh, 2001.
The one with all the
2001.
weapons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't even main event of the show. Here we go. Here we go, son. What was main event of the show?
CM Punk versus The Rock for the WWE Championship.
It was a good match.
Fuck off. So there was an awesome hype package, including the infamous, amazing CM Punk line. You need to realize when you get in the ring, your hands are too short to box with God. I love that line, man. That's so good. That is classic Punk. Nobody can touch Punk. There wasn't even really much of a storyline here. It's just everybody wanted to see these guys fight.
Yeah. I got the before the package, the promo with The Rock.
That was after the package.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
But yeah.
That was a pretty bad promo for The Rock. He kept forgetting the words and stumbling over himself.
Yeah, and he said something about having you all in his hands, and he's joining hands with you, and it was really, really babyface. Really babyface.
And it was, I don't know, it just wasn't his level, I didn't think.
Okay, so you always say, you hate when the champion comes out first.
Yeah.
And I always say, nah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I fucking care.
He cared this time.
Okay? You don't put CM Punk coming out first. CM Punk is the champion. He's been the champion for 434 days, and you're making him come out first to some part-timer that's sat in Hollywood doing talk shows who can't even wrestle anymore. You're kidding me. Don't disrespect my man Punk like that. It's just ridiculous.
Well, not so much Punk, but I agree with you. The champion should always come
What do you mean,
out
not
last.
so much Punk?
No, I'm not saying, like, specifically Punk, but all the time.
You know
the
you need
champion,
to walk a careful line when we're talking about this match.
all the time, the champion should come out last. It just makes it seem more special.
Yeah, but and I'm still resentful, you know. Punk only gets a main event when it's The Rock. Whatever.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a great match.
It wasn't technically good, but it was heated, and there was a lot of good back and forth.
I remember Punk Cena at Money in the Bank.
That's a classic.
Much better than this.
Yeah. CM Punk did his best with The Rock, and I'm not criticizing The Rock here. It's just
The Rock can go. What are you saying?
No, listen to me. The Rock. CM Punk did his best with The Rock. The Rock can't go anymore. He hasn't been able to go for a long time. There's nothing wrong with that. The Cena matches were physically a disappointment, but the atmosphere was there, so it doesn't matter. The Rock can't go anymore because he's not full time anymore. Punk did his best with him, and The Rock tried hard. I'm not criticizing The Rock for not being able to wrestle. I'm just criticizing he's not on the level of any full time guy.
Yeah.
But they did well with each other, and I liked some of the submission play and the work and the injuries and stuff. I really loved a little part where Punk, Rock throws off the Spanish announce table, and then Punk puts it back on.
Yeah.
And prays to the Spanish announce team, and then like 5 minutes later, just to piss the crowd off, takes it off again, and then puts it back on again. I really like that.
No, his crowd work is amazing. Like, second to none, really.
I mean, and something so simple as when they were doing those back and forth punches, and the way they made that atmospheric was, you can't stop these guys. You know, both of these guys know exactly what they're doing.
No, I thought it was a great match, even if it wasn't technically the best match. I really enjoyed it.
They even worked through the blown table spot pretty well as well.
So.
Oh, fuck off.
So the lights go out.
Dude, fuck off. Fuck right off with this bullshit. I was angry about. I remember I was so angry about this when I saw it live in 2013.
Just as angry.
Oh, I was fuming. You had to take me out for a walk today. I was so angry. So okay, so I won't talk about it. You say it.
So the lights go out, and then presumably the Shield. Well, they pretty much tell us it was the Shield that takes out The Rock.
So up until this point, CM Punk had been booked as toe-to-toe equal with The Rock.
Yeah.
But now he's using some stooges
To
because he can't beat The Rock
get
apparently.
over. Well, I don't think it's that he can't beat with them.
Whatever, bro.
He's just the heel, isn't he? So
Stupid.
It's like
yeah, but
taking shortcuts.
he's a cocky heel. He's not a bitch heel. When has he ever been a bitch heel?
So,
he's a bitch heel when The Rock wants him to be.
So the Rock,
Stupid.
The Rock didn't.
No, I don't shit about
So the Shield, come out, lay out The Rock, and Punk gets the win. And then the match is restarted, and then The Rock gets the win.
With the fucking people's elbow, my bro.
The Rock ends up winning.
You end 434-day reign of the greatest wrestler of all time with a people's elbow.
See,
you
I
could have
know-
at least done the dignity. He needed 2 rock bottoms, at least.
So I know-
Okay? 2 rock bottoms, not a people's elbow, the stupidest move in the wrestling business. Even the leg drops even Hogan's leg drop looks better. And you end the reign with this. No wonder Punk was out the door. You gave him an old beat up Taker, you made him lose to The Rock at Elimination Chamber. This is just beyond disrespectful. I'm so sick. This made me not ever want to go back and watch this Rumble ever again, and I was enjoying it up until this point. I'm not happy with this, Ben. This match angered the shit out of me. It just annoyed me all over again. 4 years later. Do you know how hard it is to do that to someone? It's like your blown flaming table spot with your Bubba Ray Dudley bullshit. That's how angry I got with this. I ain't talking no more.
I can see how angry you are.
Absolute bullshit finish. No way to treat CM Punk.
I got something to say, but I'm not even gonna.
No, don't even.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I was enjoying this show. I was even gonna make a pun at the end about to conclude. I was gonna say this was a rock solid show.
Ah.
Ha!
Ah.
I'm not saying it now. Well, I have, but I'm not stupid.
I like the people's elbow.
Fuck this vault. I'm not even sure I'll be back next week.
No more votes.
No.
You're done.
Not featuring The Rock anyway. I'm gonna etch him out of history. Because of this, I'm gonna etch him out of history like WWE etched out Chris Benoit.
Wow.
I am done with The
Some
Rock.
big words.
And I really liked him in Jumanji, but he's just gone and disappointed me.
Well, we're going to.
I was enjoying him. He was almost an inspiration for me. Like your stupid little shit when you get up in the morning and see him on the
He is
wall.
my inspiration.
Yeah, he's a dickhead.
Well, we're gonna go watch the stage show about him.
Punk till I die, bro.
Wow, I'm not even gonna say anything. Did you give the match a rating?
Yes.
What did you give it?
Before or after the finish?
Well, you always rate a match after you've watched the match.
Okay, so but I've got 2 ratings for this.
What, you've got a Punk winning rating and a Rock winning
No,
rating?
I've got a pre-Shield rating and a post-Shield rating.
Okay, give me both of them.
Okay, so the pre-Shield rating is 3.5 stars.
Okay.
The post-Shield
Yeah.
rating is a 0.
Well,
Not even a star. It's a 0.
Your piece of paper doesn't say that.
A 0, bro.
Your piece of paper just seems to say 3.5.
Yeah, well,
there's no 0 there.
No, but that's okay. So that counts before the Shield.
Yeah,
bit.
but you put it right at the end of all the
I
notes.
won't talk to you, man.
Seem like I actually quite like
Cut the
match.
podcast. We're done.
No. So the entire pay-per-view overall, what did you give that?
Without the finish,
Without the finish.
3.5 stars.
So not a great pay-per-view, really. Then
I enjoyed it.
it was okay.
I was gonna say it was rock solid.
Well, it wasn't. It had a flaw.
A flaw? Don't get me started again. We're done with this segment.
Okay. So intense. I like the people's elbow.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And now for our feature presentation.
Before we get into the feature, I feel we should state that he's just put all of his CM Punk merchandise on.
What are you gonna do? Sue me?
No.
Or just hit me with the fucking people's elbow and knock me out for the 1, 2, 3?
I like the people's elbow. I'm glad you're backing up your boy. It's good.
Always my boy.
Yeah, it's good
Forever.
to see some loyalty. So,
He needs to get out of UFC though.
Should we do the feature, or are you done?
You can do what you want, man.
Well, it's your feature.
Right, so we'll do the feature then.
Alright, go for it.
I don't know whether I heard it or thought about it, but it's a thing that happened that blew my mind.
Okay.
It's the greatest conspiracy of all time. Okay. Not just the greatest wrestling conspiracy of all time, greatest conspiracy of all time. Ever. You know how Paul McCartney is a clone and the original Paul McCartney died?
Yeah.
This one's better.
This one's better.
Okay.
Lay it on me.
So,
Yep.
What if Vince McMahon is an actor hired by the real Vince McMahon to portray Vince McMahon, and Shane and Stephanie are actors hired by the actual McMahons to portray their characters on screen?
What? That's crazy!
What if?
So Vince has never been Vince?
Vince has never been Vince. The person you grew up with, that
It's
you thought
fake.
was Vince McMahon is a liar. He looks straight into your eyes and say, "I own this company." He goes to interviews
But he's
about
just a puppet.
Yeah, he goes to interviews about Brett Screwed Brett. He's no one. He's just an actor.
That's crazy. Like, but and he's just lived this for his like entire life.
Yeah, and I feel lied to, creeped out, and a little bit weird about the whole situation.
But that is the greatest. That would be the greatest. Because wrestling always tries to pull the wool over your eyes, but this, like, even if they came out and said it's true, no one would believe you.
It's the biggest work of all time.
The biggest work.
It explains why McMahon's so good when he faced Stone Cold. It explains
They
how
hired a guy that can wrestle.
It explains how he the whole Brett Screwed Brett thing. He came onto television the next day and made himself a character.
It's crazy. So Vince's dad never sold him the company. Then that's just a storyline.
And the guy that used to play Vince McMahon has always been a commentator.
Yeah, because he started out as a commentator, and then they were just like, you got
Progressed
charisma.
into acting, just like Eric Bischoff used to be a commentator and then became an on-screen presence.
So the real Vince is probably not called Vince McMahon.
He might be for legal documents and things.
Because fake Vince was a commentator, and then he owned the company.
Now, obviously, there's some holes in this conspiracy theory because he actually did stand trial in the steroid trial in '92.
Okay.
And Linda McMahon would have to kind of be real because
She's
she
in
was.
office.
Well, she, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still the greatest conspiracy of all time, in my opinion.
It'd be super illegal to send an actor to court for you, wouldn't
But
it?
how does anyone know? What if?
He's just locked up in his house and just does nothing.
Well, what if the actor Vince McMahon got over his head and thought he was the real Vince McMahon and nobody would find out anyway? And yeah, Vince McMahon is locked up in his house, but not by his own volition.
You think fake Vince kidnapped real Vince?
Yeah, and then took control of the company.
That's ridiculous.
Or maybe real Vince died like 5-10 years ago, and now Triple H is running the business, but fake Vince is still...
Fake Vince is still around.
Yeah.
So they can't change it over until fake
Uh-huh.
Vince dies.
And maybe that explains why there's been so many times in which Vince McMahon has been killed off on TV. Because they keep trying to kill the actor off, but it never happens.
But he just comes back.
Yeah.
What if real Vince is different people then?
What?
No, because you know you got
well,
different
like
eras.
multiple people.
Yeah, because you know you got like a different era. Maybe a different era of the company. It's just a different person booking the company.
With Vince as the face.
But fake Vince is still just the boss.
Yeah.
But he's not actually doing anything.
And it would make a lot more sense because it's now a publicly owned company.
Fuck me. That's meant. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to believe that could be a thing, and
I want to believe, man.
but there's no way like wrestling fans would accept it now.
When I first heard it, it messed up my childhood. And I think that's why it's the perfect conspiracy, because we would never believe it, even if it was true.
Even if it's true, you'd never be able to.
You wouldn't be able to. This guy, you've known this guy your entire life.
Linda kind of blows it though. But what if Linda is the real Linda?
Exactly.
But fake Vince is still fake Vince. But then who is Linda married to if real Vince exists?
Maybe real Vince. Linda left real Vince for fake Vince. Because fake Vince was the man that real Vince couldn't be.
What if Linda is just a character as well during the Attitude Era, and then she now just wants to go and do Office, but they're like...
So she makes occasional public appearances.
Yeah, but just the actor that plays Linda wants to run for office, but like WWE, like you have to keep playing that you're Linda. You can't not be Linda anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to run office as Linda.
Yeah, could be.
And they've legally changed their names, and they're like balls deep into this.
It'd be
cover story.
It would also explain why fake Vince had a match in which he nearly choked his daughter to death.
Well, yeah, because you wouldn't do that to your real daughter.
But you would if they're both actors.
This is crazy.
It would explain why Shane McMahon is allowed to jump 40 foot off of Vince's stuff because he doesn't care about his son's welfare.
Yeah,
because the son's an actor.
Yeah, it's just an actor. This is crazy. So do you reckon there's a real Shane and Stephanie?
Yeah, probably. Or Vince is a single, lonely man that never had any children.
I like the idea that Vince has lots of people. And then during the eras, it was just a different person.
It is also explained how one 73-year-old man could work 24/7 and do so much backstage.
And be that hench.
And be 73 and go out there and bleed and get frog splashed by Kevin Owens 2 months ago.
Because real Vince don't care.
Real Vince wouldn't do that. A 73-year-old man in control of $1 billion company, do you really think that he would be bothered? A billionaire doesn't go out there. Maybe in the 90s, yeah, but at the age of 73, a billionaire doesn't go out into his own company for no particular reason, just to make one specific wrestler look good.
Well, we all know Vince is a lunatic. But if this conspiracy...
But do you know Vince is a lunatic?
Well...
Or is it just the actor playing Vince is portrayed as a lunatic?
Man, I want it to be real.
So do I.
It's crazy.
I'd love it to be real.
And
anyway.
Be the greatest work ever.
That's something to chew on, listeners.
So that was our feature. I think that's our best feature we've brought to the table, you brought to the table so far. Episode 5.
It's something to think about.
Yeah. So next week we're not really going to have a feature, are we?
No. Next week we are... Well, Raw 25 would be our feature.
Raw 25 is our feature next week. Next week is a bit of a mini show.
Because I still don't understand... I don't really know how long Raw 25 is going to be anyway.
Oh, God. You said it might be 5 hours. I really hope it's not 5 hours.
They're emanating from 2 different arenas.
But it's on TV, right?
It should be.
The entire show?
Yeah.
They're not doing like half on TV, then half is on the network?
I don't think so.
Then it will have to be 3 hours.
But, well, they have 2 hours of... they have two venues.
Yeah.
So that would be multiple hours of footage unless they cut back and forth.
Oh my God, it's gonna be crazy. So next week we're gonna do our Royal Rumble predictions, and then we'll cover Raw 25, and that's it.
That's it.
We're gonna have an easy week next week.
And then we'll be back with a vengeance the week after.
Week after, episode 7.
Doing everything that we did today, and Royal Rumble
pay-per-view weekend, Royal Rumble.
Which will also kind of be our feature, right?
Yeah, that'll be our feature, pay-per-view weekend that week.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook.
Oh yeah, do your socials.
We're on Instagram, and subscribe to us for more great content on YouTube.
Every week, on Wednesday or Thursday.
Maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday.
But next week, probably Tuesday.
What? Okay, so we're all over the place. But we are doing a weekly show. So.
We are. So keep botching.
Yeah, keep on botching, bruh.